And welcome back to the Bedouin Banter podcast, guys. I'm not sure how the signal is. If you guys are hearing us straight on the live, please let us know how things are going. This is episode 43. This is the Aliens of Arabia podcast. Of course, with the start off to the preliminary not CIA, but we're going to say that Mike is part of the CIA today. The preliminary report from the Pentagon on what they think is happening with UFOs/UAPs. We have the documents right here. I'm holding the papers, which makes this all the more legitimate. I think you might hear some background noise, guys, if we started off the podcast correctly. I'm not sure what's happening, but I think there might be a party right next door.
Classic. Like a domestic altercation.
Yeah,
It's definitely not what it is.
I think that this is really built right into my villa. So, guys, I think the neighbors might be beating somebody up right there. It might be a fight.
It's the aliens they found.
I hear kids. If everything's okay, please let us know in the chat. Hadaifa and Miguel are actually monitoring it right now. And if I think we're good to go, we're going to start. Of course, introducing you guys on the podcast. It is the Bedouin Banter podcast, the podcast where it matters. What is it? Nobody knows. We just find it out as we go through the trending topics of the day. Today being aliens, UFOs, everything in between. Of course, the billionaire aliens themselves that are trying to make their space race happen. So we're going to be talking about that. Elon Musk plus Jeff Bezos. All the updates as well from this week. Plus the yesterday's release of the Pentagon preliminary report. I am joined by Mike Donovan, who is not who is not Navy intelligence apparently. No, not today. He is just Mikey D on the fly. How do you want to introduce yourself? Because
I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude. But I work for the feds. I work on the base. Used to be on a ship. Work in an office now. Everything I say is my own opinion. I work for the feds. I'm those people, but I'm not those people. If you know what I mean. So
for the sake of basically talking about everything confidential or anything about the military or the United States government, these are your own personal opinions. Nothing else plays into it.
That is correct. Good. Yes, I do not represent the feds, even though I work for them.
Good, because we're going to roast today. We're going to
It's a spicy report.
So anything said today is not his fault. Please don't fire him, okay? He doesn't represent anybody from the military. We are also joined by, of course, returning guest Hadaifa Sadiqi. He's not a real doctor, but we call him Dr. Hadaifa because he knows how to operate when it comes to our insecurities and really get...
With surgical precision.
With surgical precision, like Doctor Strange. So.
Yes. Hello, assalamu alaikum. Some people call me... Oh, go.
Go.
No.
I was going to say, introduce your co-host as well, who's on the second chair today with you.
I will. I like that you've given me first chair. I will take it.
Yeah,
I just want to pop my collar.
I'm never sure if first chair is over here. But I tell Matrouk it's over here so he feels better.
Classic Matrouk.
Well, it's me, Hadaifa Sadiqi. Assalamu alaikum. I'm sorry to all the viewers that I'm back again. Here is with me Miguel. Last name to this day I don't know.
Lopez.
Oh, look at that. I was going to say Lopez, but I was like, no, it's too racist, but it would have been on point.
Yeah, well, I'm a 23-year-old, really handsome guy, single.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am the opposite of Mike Donovan, where all of my opinions are actually straight from the government, the Philippine government's mouth. I represent them fully, legally as well.
Whoa! I'm definitely not. No, I definitely am single. You said the opposite.
That is perfect.
Can I say that on the podcast?
Yeah.
I have to clarify that was a
the
joke.
Filipino government.
Is it a joke though?
Yeah.
Please
I feel like Duterte will
me.
take your hands for that.
Philippines has a government? What?
Miguel has not much left in life, right? Don't take anything else from him. All right, we've given him the flower to feel better. You came in actually with a pretty flower. Where'd you come in with that?
It's one of my favorite flowers. Jasmine. It smells nice.
Do you legit not know where you got it from?
Is it from?
I got it from outside your house.
It's literally from the tree outside your house.
Really? I have flowers.
I have a tree in my house.
Well, I don't notice them because the only flower is my wife.
Oh, mashallah.
Bro, she's not watching this.
I just wanted bonus points. She at least watches at least 3 minutes, babe. Watch 3 minutes of the show. That's it, all right? All right, so that is the guest roundtable today with Banter Buddies, a special series of the podcast. Make sure to share, sub, subscribe, whatever. Share, sub, and subscribe is the same thing. But if it's on multiple platforms, do it on all of them. Follow, like, let people know the live stream is on. We're going to get right into it. I just want to say the best part about today is we have a full table of comedians. So people that have done comedy, have been part of improv shows, have done stand-up. Miguel is a stand-up comic, formerly anyway. We all haven't had a job or a gig in like a year and a half. So I don't know if we get to call ourselves that anymore.
You guys are special. I haven't had a gig in like 10 years. Actually, 31. I'm 31 now. I haven't had a gig ever. So
that's true. So
Jesus.
I guess we're just going to be conspiracy theorists after today. That's it.
Yeah.
It's the new money. All the money is in that. Shilling for the government, all right? the right government, never the government that we are located in. This show is not responsible for any kind of conspiracies that relate back to the Middle East. We intentionally avoid political conversations that involve that, so please don't ask that in the comments. We are going to be taking, of course, questions from you guys in the chat, in the live stream. That's where Hadayfa is monitoring right now. And we've taken some pre-questions from the Instagram. So that's at Bedouin Banter on the Instagram. So thank you guys for submitting. All right, straight into it, guys. One of our stuff, our updates from today is a bit of news. I always like to start off with a bit of news. So Jeff Bezos with Blue Origin, which is a space program. Apparently, of course, everybody made the meme. They were joking about the fact that he got the bailout from the Senate approved. And then, of course, he bought MGM right after. And that was for like $8 billion or something, or 10. It was the other way around. One of them was the other. But it was like, I buy MGM for 10, then get a bailout for like 8.5 billion.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What is the logic behind that bailout? Why are we bailing out rich people?
I don't think, Mike, it's your government, bro.
Where's that coming from?
You know, politics is a slippery slope, if you will. It's just, call it American exceptionalism, manifest destiny, insert propaganda stuff here.
That's right.
Some people, some political party that leans right probably thinks that keeping Jeff Bezos afloat, even though he's the world's richest man, is a good idea somehow. And ironically, they didn't realize, hey, maybe if you just sell some of your Amazon stocks, you can bail yourself out. Just saying.
I just want to say, by the way, for the guys that don't know about this program, it was one for his Blue Origin program. It is for a lander to the moon, because apparently we're supposed to be, again, or the States is anyway, supposed to be at the moon by 2024, I think. So that's not much time.
Yeah, it really is.
I don't know. It's apparently to be competitive with China when it comes to aerospace and yeah, it's always
That's another thing that happened back in the Cold War as well, right?
What?
The space race.
Yes.
It did.
Yeah.
What's the point of getting there first?
It's the final frontier.
Because they want to get there.
For what?
We don't know.
Nationalistic pride? Like, hey,
Yes.
you planted the flag here.
What if they get there first and then they have something that you don't have?
Ah, okay.
So if somebody says they're going
They
there,
establish something.
People really thought, like, and this is going to be a funny segue. You guys seen Austin Powers 2? Spy Who Shagged Me?
Yeah.
Remember how there's the Cold War era style, like, moon base? Like that retro futuristic, moon base that had like a gun that could shoot things at the moon.
Yeah.
Or shoot things at Earth.
Yeah.
So there was a legitimate fear because space, when Sputnik launched in the 50s, it was like, holy shit, like, what is a satellite? Can it spy on us? Can it take pictures? Can it launch laser beams? Like, no one knew. So they just wanted to outdo the Soviets. So there was this pervasive fear that, the Soviets are going to get to the moon, establish something that can be used against us, whether it be a weapon or somehow they could spy on people. And ultimately, we beat them to the moon, which was awesome. And then what a lot of people don't realize is that, the things that followed in the 70s and 80s, such as Skylab, for example, and the International Space Station, a lot of modern developments that we have were researched and discovered like in space. So everything from like microchip technology, lasers, a lot of developments in medicine were made due to experiments conducted in space. So, if you look at the broader picture, it seems like we're wasting a lot of money. But, considering how much we've slashed NASA's budget and how much that they keep making scientific advancements and doing experiments, it's a pretty good investment.
I agree. I think it's always been something that interests a lot of people when it comes to either research or it comes to like asking that question, like why the hell does it matter? But like you ask Neil deGrasse Tyson, he'll say the exact same thing. Like things like medical technology was invented, like basically what is it called, the CAT scans. That was based off of technology that was used by NASA. So if you make something for space or aerospace, there's a trickle-down effect. Like they love trickle-down.
Oh, yeah. They do.
All of them.
Economics?
Now it's on the left.
Yeah.
It's just trickle-down science. It's not trickle-down economics.
No, it's
trickle-down
exactly.
science.
But that didn't matter, I think, this month or this week anyway, because the Jeff Bezos bailout for Blue Origin, which is basically the new lunar module, right, that they were supposed to build for the project to get to the moon. Jeff Bezos didn't win the contract or the bid. Elon, of course, trolling him again, got it.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's why Tesla stocks went up so much.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Bezos got salty and ended up basically getting cock blocked. There you go on the graphic right there. That's that's his cock rocket with Jeff Bezos' rocket getting completely cock blocked by the House because Bernie went, no, we can't keep spending on building our millionaires. We can't do it anymore.
Which,
We don't have national health care. We don't have anything.
So wait, I want to get this straight. They didn't bail out Jeff Bezos.
No.
Not for Amazon. They bailed out Blue Origin.
He wanted the bailout for Blue Origin, but at the same time, he went and bought MGM with almost the same amount of money that was for the bailout.
But that was with his Amazon company.
Yes,
Yep.
apparently.
Yeah, see, they're two different things.
I know, but it's just the irony of it as
I
a
know,
meme.
Of course it is.
Because it didn't
It's
pass through
hilarious.
the whole. Obviously, the other
I just
enjoying that.
Sorry, I'm
I
just...
just saw the cusp.
No, it's-
When it comes to space exploration, I mean, you're going to be seeing in the next couple decades this union between public sector funding with private sector ingenuity, and that's why NASA is using SpaceX rockets to send astronauts to the space station. Because if it was just NASA alone, it wouldn't happen for another 10 years. I mean, just it's the government, it's bureaucracy. In the private sector, you get shit done a lot faster, and if the feds are fronting the bill,
Yeah.
then things just move.
Well, his argument was that it was for competition.
I get
That's
it.
the idea.
I get
So
it.
if you only have Elon doing it, he's going to dominate the whole thing. For the sake of capitalism, you have to have Coke and Pepsi. They're never going to argue for a third choice.
Yeah,
Fuck
except
Branson.
My favorite part about it is that they'll use capitalism as the argument for why they need a bailout.
Yeah.
But then they won't use capitalism as the argument for the reason why they shouldn't have a bailout.
Exactly.
In the first place.
Exactly, never.
You got to have the best of both
It's
worlds.
like we have to compete. What are you talking about? Like I'm the slow. His logic was I'm the slow tortoise, and Elon is faster but cheaper. I know, like he can bid at a lower rate, right, and get basically a cheaper module out there. But he's like, but I'm gonna make it at the end. I'm the slow, steady hare. Whilst Branson is like, I'm gonna kite surf and fuck models. That's
Branson's just been doing that since. It's ironic, isn't it, that he has Virgin
Yeah.
as his brand.
oh.
Galactic.
I mean, you brought
This
it
is
up.
why you've been out of comedy for 10 years.
Is
Oh,
Is it?
Sorry, I went for the dagger there.
It's okay.
Getting to the end of that little segment, we're going to talk about the actual report from the whole cock blocking. So Bezos is apparently supposed to go up to space next month, I think, in July, and for a few minutes. I don't know if that counts, but with
The petition's what
I
counts.
know the potential is awesome, right? With less than a month to go before Jeff Bezos embarks on his greatest adventure with a trip to space, more than a few people are here on Earth, and this is the article I'm reading, right? Are making it known that they'd prefer if the wealthiest man on the planet takes a one-way trip and remains in orbit.
shit.
Wait, I have so many thoughts.
Yeah, I know. This is where it gets good, right? A petition on change.org entitled "Do Not Allow Jeff Bezos to Return to Earth" launched this June, like at the start of June, after Bezos announced his plans to fly on next month's first passenger space flight. The petition has more than 122,000 signatures as of, I think, Friday of the first week of June. So I think it actually went up by now.
I'm sure it has.
It's been like probably 500,000 if I have to guess. But that tells you a lot. Like, why are we bailing out billionaires? Why do they need it? And what is this obsession with space? Why are they just measuring cocks? Like, you guys can see the picture of the cock rocket. I'm going to give you the close-up for those of you that have never seen it before. The cock rocket is a special design by Bezos himself. It's supposed to match his head. And I think a lot of people are just saying that this is a type of pissing contest that Musk and him have gone into. So I'm not sure what's happening
It
there.
has to be
This
something
this
that we
isn't a
can't
real
even
thing,
imagine.
right?
It's an actual cock rocket. Look at it.
That's not actually what the rocket looks
It
like.
looks like a cock. It's got the bulbous head at the top.
that's
you can't
not
see
the-
it properly.
I mean,
Let me see this gland.
You realize all
There you go.
all rockets are phallic in
It was
nature.
very
Like
aerodynamic.
all rockets are phallic.
but this
looking.
one
You just
Has
think
a
it looks
head.
like a circumcised penis? Is that what we're going?
does look like the shroom top. It has the bulb at the top.
He's got that.
You
Megamind
can see it. Come
vibe
on.
going on.
God. It's right there. Come on, guys. Tell me it's not a cock rocket.
It's in the name, though. I guess they could have made it white origin or white seed, and then it would have been a bit more. It's not, there's something in there, though. Oops.
Something to do
I
with
apologize.
it. But yeah, it's a giant pissing contest to get to space. Miguel had a theory. You think they're aliens trying to get back home.
Oh, no, that was red, actually. Though.
Was that? I thought
Yeah,
that was
that
you.
was
I don't know
Red.
why I thought that. Sorry. I'm
No,
giving
no.
credit to
That
Red.
was a genius joke by Red.
Okay.
He said, this fucking turtle boy is just trying to get home.
What if that's fucking
Alien
actually
is just
happening,
trying to
man?
get home,
Like,
yeah.
what if it is happening?
Man, if he's an alien, then he probably had the technology to do that in the first place before all this bullshit.
He could have broken down, man, like District 9, like just stuck, Just minus the apartheid metaphors, but
Oh, wow.
This is what until you mentioned it, nobody was making those
Nobody.
metaphors.
Not a
But
single
now I
person.
am.
the movie made the metaphor.
And now what I'm about to say has even more weight to it, but it stands to reason now. Jeff Bezos may be an alien because I've legit only ever seen him in a turtleneck, and that too in a black one.
Yeah.
Now we'll just fit some apartheid thing in there somewhere, I guess.
Well-
But it's always been a turtleneck.
Yeah.
So there must be some sort of gulls or something.
Maybe
Gills
like
is the
maybe
word.
they
Or
start
actually,
off as humans, but then there's like some Illuminati based like
they become billionaires.
yeah, like past a
There has
certain
to
right. They
has
just
to
inject like you get the
Yeah.
alien DNA, like
In
it's very
adulthood.
sparse. But
Because
then
they do so. You have that much money. What else can you do with that much money?
Yeah.
You know, there got to be some twisted shit you're doing with that money.
well, he's going up into space and he's doing it in a cock rocket, right?
Well, I mean, that's not twisted enough. to
I
be
mean,
honest.
what if the real thing is just there's a bunch of women that he's like harassed and stuff, and he doesn't want it to be public knowledge, so he's going into space with them, and then he's leaving them there.
well, then by that logic, Bill Gates should be in space, right? 'Cause
is that a thing?
I think
he's
there's
Wait.
been accusations here and there. People have floated things.
I feel like there's no rich person
Hold
that
up,
is
his
immune
wife
to-
left him, right? And it was due to some weird connection he had with what's his name?
The lizard people.
Epstein.
Epstein. Yeah,
I
Epstein.
didn't know that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
he,
didn't know that was the
I'm
reason.
telling you,
It
bro.
was-
All these billionaires.
she doesn't like the fact that his name is showing up in documents. Apparently, that was some rumor that was coming.
I
I saw
mean-
this is unverified, allegedly.
Yeah, alleged. Nothing we say on this podcast is
None of it.
so it's okay.
All bullshit.
I wasn't going that far, but I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I mean, but Miguel's right. It is like a rich person club. I mean, Epstein's whole thing was like a freaking rich private island deal,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So like, who's gonna be involved in that other than billionaires?
Yeah.
It's
They have their
literally just-
own private islands with their fucking. You know, they have like their
12-year-old.
personal submarines to go from island to island and
And
shit.
that's just, I mean,
that's some James Bond shit right there.
Why would you need a submarine?
Maybe that's why he bought MGM, bro. Because James Bond is like a part of the MGM franchise. It's the biggest fucking thing. He's the evil supervillain
Oh
that
my
just
God.
bought the movie that has nothing but evil supervillains in it.
He's the next Bond, actually.
James Bezos.
Maybe he puts
Daniel Craig's final form is Jeff Bezos.
It's
the
like
next Bond.
the meta way to beat Bond is to become Bond by buying the fuck out of Bond, right?
Zara Bond.
Buying fucking Bond, man.
But Jeff Bezos also, like, I mean, everyone thinks he's like a lizard. Honestly, I just think he's the stonks guy. Like, if you know the meme Stonks Man, he looks
Yeah.
just like him.
Oh,
I feel
yeah.
like
He's also
maybe-
the world's richest man, so coinky dink, I think not.
isn't it crazy that he's the richest man even though he lost like what, like half?
Half.
Or, yeah, half to his wife, who immediately became number 6 in the world or number
See,
7.
that part is still. Now we're gonna go into this wholly different topic on this.
What
show.
an
that
investment.
bugs me so much.
Does it?
It bugs me so much.
Well, we're
Which one?
We're supportive of people that basically were there from the very beginning and took half of your money.
No,
That's fine. dude.
absolutely not.
She was there in the room.
Here's the funny part. She was there in the
She
room,
was
right?
there.
So when a woman does it, it's okay.
Yeah.
When Adele was getting divorced and the husband wanted half, every woman on Twitter and Instagram was like, "Fuck that son of a bitch! Who the fuck does he think he is? He didn't do any singing. Adele earned that money."
Did she though?
Who is
Because he was there.
He was there.
Where's the rage coming from when she
Massaging
sings
that
those
larynx,
songs? Where's
you
the
know?
deep though? She's rolling in some deep, bro. He's the deep man.
You know what? Now we just got flashbacks to the boys from Amazon.
Right.
Amazon Prime. He is the deep. Oh my
He's the
god. what a
fucking deep
character.
man. He's
I
been there. He's
just-
inspired it all, right? He's the
Just get a
muse.
prenup, you know?
But no.
That's the smartest
Just-
thing to do.
Can you though?
You leave with what you brought in. That's it. I'm sorry. And
But-
anything
but,
else that was
like,
gifted.
let's say if like we talked about this before, and Miguel, I want you to jump in on this because you like these kinds of topics, right?
What's up?
She was there, like Bezos's wife. She was there from the very beginning, like when he was like nothing but this guy that people would laugh at, say you're selling books over the internet. Like there's an old picture of him like with his old freaking like Mac, and he's
Yeah.
just sitting there in a shitty dingy office with like nothing but cardboard behind him, and it says Amazon on like a dingy banner. Not like this, you know. This is classy.
Yeah.
This is
yeah,
like,
yeah, no, no,
Yeah.
It was like on,
That's
literally on
not tacky
cardboard.
at all.
yeah, right.
It's like with Sharpie on cardboard, and it wasn't even like 4-inch wide Sharpie. It was like the fine point, which like you can't even read. It's
well,
like, what is
that's
this?
him just being
At least
prudent,
make a decent
right?
draw. At least make a decent sign.
That's a smart businessman. I'm going under, bro. Look,
That's true.
I was like, I'm at like
Sponsor
200,
Bedouin Banter.
275 subscribers, and look where the fuck I'm at, right?
$1 per subscriber. Smart investment, bro.
Somebody that follows the show, it's an account, and he's like, this guy's going down in a year.
I'm only watching for the drama.
There's like red flags. But yeah, she's been there from the very beginning, man. That should give her some cred.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? I agree partly with what Hudayfa said.
Yeah.
You leave with what you brought in. Except, I'll add on some things. You leave with the things you contributed while
No,
you
no,
were
no,
in the
absolutely,
moment.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
But
of
there's
course.
some things that you can't really measure, like
Sure.
the emotional support of a partner,
But
or things like that.
Yeah.
But
that's like
half,
saying, okay.
half? You want to take
listen,
half?
That's
Hey,
like
but
saying
just because
I've
you've never
emotionally-
experienced
no,
love.
Listen, I've emotionally supported you as a friend. Okay.
Yeah.
Am I entitled to half your earnings from this podcast?
You don't know because there's
Or
no earnings.
one-
is there?
If you guys get married, I mean, why not?
Here's zero. No, but you get my point. Like, that's such a stupid argument.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sorry.
don't- I don't like half.
I know
I
what you're
hate it.
saying, but it really is circumstantial, right? Like if you're talking about somebody that had to go through all the, like let's say Bezos was like this hideous troll. Like right now he's troll-like, but he's not a hideous troll, right?
Honestly, I don't
Like
get that.
just a beast, like a complete like Gollum,
Okay.
right?
Sure.
And he's just away on the keyboard typing away, and she really believes in that dick. Like she can somehow envision the cock rocket years ahead. Okay,
She literally
and
believes in that dick.
she's down on him. She's dealing
going down on him?
What is
Is that
going
Straight
on here?
Harvey Weinstein.
You went
okay?
too
That's
far
what we're
down the
talking
cock
She's
rocket
dealing with
tunnel.
it, man. She's dealing with it. Like, let's be honest. Some of these women that you have to give them respect. The ones that just know what they're doing. They are saying, "I'm going to go into this. I'm going to risk my whole life, my years, my good years, because they have good years. We don't."
Okay, so she made an intentional choice to back this dude, even if she potentially wasn't attracted to him, because
Yeah.
she thought he could be successful, and so she got 40 years of a great high value life.
Yes.
So where's the complaint here? She got what she worked for.
Well, she has to get something. I don't know
Okay,
if it's half,
listen,
but there is a number.
That's like saying when I'm an employee at a company and I haven't gotten any equity in it, but I've worked there for 30 years.
Yeah.
Give me the company when I leave.
Yeah,
No. That's not how
Wow,
that
so
works.
you're saying women are employees?
I mean,
I'm pretty sure when both got married, though, they weren't anticipating an end
FYI,
date.
I've lost all fans.
What's that, Mike?
I said I'm pretty sure when both got married, though, they weren't like anticipating an end date. I
Most-
mean, it's
most
just
people don't.
You know, so regardless of if people are filthy fucking rich, I mean, they're still people at the end of the
Exactly.
day. So
Like,
you
you
know,
have to
couples still have the same problems.
You have to
Yeah.
respect the emotional need that she was attentive to, that she was there for, that she was patient with him. Like he's obviously a sociopath. You can see that, right?
I think you would have to be a billionaire.
Yeah, exactly.
They've actually done studies on this, and I
Exactly.
think that's their
Because
Exactly.
it's insane. Why would you need that much money? There has to be some kind of purpose that I am not seeing. If it's logical or if you're just crazy.
Yeah.
Power.
Like with Elon, I feel like it's not the same. With Elon, he's kind of fun. He's a celebrity. He cracks
Oh.
jokes.
I mean, I think he's
Wait
just
a
troll.
minute. I think he's doing that. I think for Elon, okay.
You think he's like playing 3D chess?
He's yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's playing checkers, and we're just too fucking stupid to criticize him on it. Okay.
So you're a Bitcoin person, are you?
No. So the thing with Elon, he's like that hello fellow kids guy. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Where he's playing the internet basically.
He knows what he's doing.
He knows what
he
he's
knows
doing.
his influence. Yeah.
Yeah, and I follow him on Twitter just in case if I ever save enough money to invest in stocks,
Yeah.
and just if Elon ever says some dumb shit,
You do the opposite.
Tesla dips.
Yeah.
You buy that dip, and then a day later it normalizes.
That's like the outrage
how you get
stock,
rich.
right? When
Yeah.
when he smoked, one of those marijuanas at Joe Rogan's podcast, and it went down. Like the stock went down
tremendously, yeah.
like crazy, and a
It was
bunch
like
of
a 10% dip or something.
yeah, and a bunch of his executives, I think his CFO or something, left
Wanted
the
to
company at
kick
the
him out
time.
or some
Yeah,
shit.
something
Yeah.
bad happened in the company as well. So I think that was outrage stock, and there's a lot of people who are like, "Well, did Rogan know about it? Is there?"
Rogan smokes up on his show all the time, so like he probably was like, "Huh? Oh, that."
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
they might know, like, hey, I know if outrage stock goes down with something like Tesla or anything else that he's into, I know it's going to go back up within the same week.
But somebody's
So-
got to track Rogan's portfolio. Did he short Elon's stock? Did he short Tesla's stock right before getting Elon on the show? Because
We don't know.
that would be big.
There's
brain
multiple
points
ways
and
of doing
also
it.
insider trading. you
But yeah,
know.
no. If you want to get rich, just follow Elon on Twitter. See if he tweets some dumb shit. He does like
I-
everyone.
I-
Like, Truk
you
would
not.
disagree with you, but
I shit you not. I
Turk's
know.
long on oil, so
FYI, what Miguel said sounds like a throwaway, but I legit know somebody who has coded a bot that trawls Elon Musk's tweets,
And every time he tweets about a company, just automatically buys stock in that.
really
And it works. I mean,
smart.
yeah.
Very smart. So, final verdict: are they aliens? We know they're sociopaths at this point. Is there a possibility of them actually being interdimensional, intergalactic, or even maybe
Who,
like
the billionaires.
yeah, the billionaires?
I don't know about that. They
don't-
do look like they are, but
Like physically, they do look it.
But we have no evidence.
No.
So
I think there's a chance that they have tech that nobody knows about, and that they probably have access to something that nobody knows about.
Oh,
that's
high
my
chance.
belief.
That
It's a very vague
Pretty
statement
much.
as
The
well.
last
Yeah.
part I believe entirely.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
money buys
pretty
you
much
access,
100%.
bro.
Yeah,
That's
like
actually
if there's
what
a,
mon-
if there's
that's
a
what money
program,
gets you.
if there's a program out there by the government, right?
Yeah.
like they'd be the ones to know.
100%.
Well, it's not just the government as well. There's a
100%.
lot of illegal research going on. Probably.
True.
Wasn't this the plot of the movie 2012, where all the billionaire cabals had access to the? It seems oddly familiar.
To the safe houses or
Yeah,
something?
the ships.
the ships, the arcs.
Well, maybe that's what
Yeah.
they're building, bro. Maybe they're securing the future.
Well, it's
Everyone
not just
12,
that. It's the
12.
immortality research
Yeah.
type thing. Did you hear
Oh
about
There's that too,
yeah,
there's that
that's
too.
creepy.
If you're a billionaire, you would want to live forever.
Yeah.
And if you have the resources to invest into that. Wow, I feel like I should be the one wearing the tinfoil hat. Because this sounds crazy. I know this sounds crazy.
Why is there a red dot on your forehead? Wait a second.
We actually got a comment about that already.
What do we got?
What's up?
What's his name?
Is it
Hold
Nasser?
on, I'll tell you. No. It's Infrabase says, "Wow, I didn't know you had an alien as a special guest. This is cool. Ask him which planet did he get his tinfoil hat made in."
Uranus.
Wow!
Did you
Just roasted Infrabase for no reason.
right? Gotcha, fam.
Wow. We have Ed in Arcadia here actually, who's actually trying to make a proper point as well.
Give it to him.
He says you can have half the earnings if you share in the losses too, which is actually a perfectly reasonable stance and one I agree with entirely.
Yeah.
Very, very
just
very
sharing-
Tumblr-like of
sharing
him
the
to
loss.
say.
It's actually very.
That was a good job on my part.
Do you want some
Something
milk
has to go wrong.
We don't have the billionaires.
I will grab your
budget.
clip.
Bedouin Banter.
But I was gonna say it was very Sharia compliant. And I leave the stream with them.
as I descend below the desk. Sharia compliance.
Let me just do it this way.
Josefa is gonna go under the desk. He's not gonna do anything.
I don't think you can
haram.
do it, man.
Oximbala just halal. That's
What's
it.
that?
It's inside the hole.
It's gone.
It's in the
It's
hole.
just gone.
Oh my God.
We're just gonna have to do it manually.
There you go.
Yeah.
We'll do it live.
Do it like fucking
Old
love that
school.
clip.
Hold the mic with your hand, right? Just hog the dick. Right. So, what was the last question?
Oh, it was a comment from Etin Arcadia saying that
okay.
you can have half the earnings if you share in the losses too.
That's what I'm saying. If you're going through the bullshit, you might as well, right?
No, but if you actually share in the financial losses, like, do you actually share when the stocks plummet, when the stocks were plummeting or something? Was it all on Bezos? Or
Well,
were you
when
like,
Melinda Gates has to deal with like the kids screaming in the basement, you know that keeps you up at night, man. With the little like Afghani kids that he keeps stealing for
I feel like
vaccine research.
you are trying so hard to
Jesus.
trigger me, and it's working. And,
do you mean?
I respect you for
Is
it.
it?
I respect
Do you respect it?
No, I don't.
What does Bill Gates want with like rural Pakistani kids, bro?
They're
Think about it.
Dastanis,
Trying to
man.
cure
They make-
malaria,
it's
bro.
the blood. They're like horseshoe crabs of Afghanistan. You know,
I feel
It's
like he has a
valuable
collection, man. I feel like he has some collection.
He's trying to figure out how to look. Listen, there's one little known fact about Pakistani Afghani and the Indian subcontinent kids. They're so diseased, right, that they actually have the potent formula for eradicating malaria because literally mosquitoes bite them and they die. Not the kids, the mosquitoes die. So you just gotta. That's all he's doing. He's trying to figure out how do we cure malaria by killing the mosquitoes with this infectious, like, dirty brown blood. It's it's just.
I laughed.
Some heavy shit.
And then I stopped
I was
myself
trying.
because I thought there was a possibility that you weren't joking.
No, I mean I'm not.
I was
joking, though.
worried about how this is gonna get clipped, bro. Like, this is a
I don't
second
know.
out of context.
I have a Do I look Pakistani enough to have made that joke? That's my concern.
I hope so.
I feel like I don't though. I feel like people would be like, "This racist Arab."
Just you're
I am
vague.
Pakistani, by the way.
I am
At the
telling
very
you,
least, you don't look white.
these
That's
billionaires,
gonna be
bro.
ambiguous.
These billionaires are up to shit. I don't understand what they're doing, but they're doing stuff.
They're up to some shit.
All right,
That's 100% true.
that is that is the gist about what we're gonna get into as far as like at least Bill Gates and the accusations he has with Epstein, and of course the cock rocket competition between Elon and Jeff Bezos. There has been another update as well. There's an antitrust committee, of course, that's eyeing Bezos to break up the company. And that was probably one of the reasons why they had to block his bid when he whined like a little bitch that, you know, it's unfair that he didn't get his contract for lunar lander. I built a cock rocket. So he's saying maybe this, I think, I can't remember who posed this question for me, but they were saying that this is probably the reason why it got blocked. Do you guys think like companies like Amazon will be broken up or no? not going to happen. Are we going to see like the Microsoft thing from the 90s?
I definitely think that if we're being serious for a second, there's been a very strong growing movement, especially on the left within America, to break up companies like Amazon, like Alphabet, i.e. Google, well, the parent company of Google, for just that, for antitrust reasons. But I mean, I've never really understood how it's just so. It's like cognitive dissonance, man.
Yeah.
Like, how can you have this antitrust policy and also be like, we're profoundly capitalist? Because I get the argument is that, okay, this is anti-capitalist because it's monopolizing the market. But it's also a very strange stance on it. Because it's not really, they're not really trying to say that, oh, you're so big that you've created monopoly. They're just saying, like, you're too big and we don't like that we have to buy everything from you. So
exactly.
We want to give our money somewhere else. It's like, okay, just go give your money somewhere else then. Oh, but they don't have the same products and they don't have it at the same speed and at the same quality you do, so we have to give you the money. It's like, oh, no. So you want to give me the money because I made such a good product and company and good service.
Well, if you have a club, right, like you look at the UN Security Council, right, and you have a club where you don't want any new players.
I was literally thinking sports club.
No, I'm talking about the real clubs, bro.
Oh, yeah.
The people that own the sports
like a
club.
cabal. Got you.
Like, if you're part of that exclusive, like, I'm, the NFL team owners thing, or we're the people that run, like I said, the UN Security Council. Uh-huh. If you have the nukes, you don't want anybody else to get new nukes. You just want the old nukes, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Because the more nukes on the table, the more people that have power, the bigger players that come in that are new, the more you have to, like, kind of share the pie, and you have to deal with their new bullshit. So if you've got, like, companies that, or maybe even CEOs that already own companies that are too big to fail, you think like medical, pharmaceutical companies, you think like, military industrial complex, Mike. Yay!
Yeah, Eisenhower warned about it.
He did. If you think about those, you think about like everything that has to do with, insurance. You go, okay, you can't touch, those you can't touch anymore. They've got their roots already kind of solidly into politics in the States and global politics. But if you're like one of these tech billionaires, you're so new to the game that they're trying to limit your potential ability to mess and control with everything before it's too late. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is your last chance.
Yeah.
Like, you see it. You can see it with, what's his name? Facebook dude. Fucking Zuckerberg.
Lizard boy.
His eyes.
By the way, if we're talking about billionaires that are aliens, Zuckerberg's at the top of that list.
Yep.
That dude's 100% an alien, man. This is literally Zuckerberg giving an address. That's a great question. I have no idea. I don't think he knows.
He doesn't know how to
loading.
He doesn't know how to. It's literally him trying to drink was. I think he almost swallowed the cup whole. I've never seen a human act less human in my entire life. Oh my God.
Yeah, they're
Sorry,
weird.
you were saying Zuckerberg, yes.
I was saying, like, him, you can see, like, people that cry about censorship on the internet, right? And they're freaking out, like, Republicans and Democrats. Mm-hmm. And you can see, like, how everybody tries to act the victim, but really everybody's getting censored across the board. And I feel like everybody on either side of the political spectrum, they're so scared of these tech giants actually controlling the narrative and controlling and having that much power. So they're trying to kind of preempt it by saying they're being oppressed. So you can now kind of like get your claws in on Facebook, get your claws in on everything else and say, well, you have to run by our rules.
See, that's the thing that really bugs me about it is Facebook, Google, Twitter, YouTube, these things are supposed to be, they're privatized companies.
Yeah.
It's a privatized domain. It's private domain on publicly accessible, but it's private domain. The argument that governments make is like, oh, Facebook needs to stop spreading fake news. And YouTube needs to take down harmful misinformation, and Twitter needs to censor such and such tweets. Like, wait, but why?
Yeah, why the fuck? Yeah.
They're private entities. Why do they have to do that? They're not a government entity, right?
Yeah.
But then it doesn't work like across everything. It's just as and when it's convenient. Right now, it's convenient that that's the thing to attack.
Yeah.
So let's attack that. But I'm 100% with you. The end goal
they're
is just
fine with it when it's election season, right? And it's like, I'm gonna pay you all the money in the world to get me to win.
Exactly.
But when it's when it's Trump getting banned off Twitter, you see a bunch of countries around the world that are like, fuck Twitter. And
or there's people that are saying,
Really?
why didn't Trump get banned quicker? You know?
Some people say that, but like I feel like leaders, specific leaders, especially the ones that I feel like it's like the ones that know they have shit to hide that are going, no, Twitter's not legal in our country anymore. You're not allowed to be here.
Ban all social media.
There's a list. I can't remember who it was, but I want to say I know India was banned TikTok. Is that still a thing?
That's still the thing. They're definitely not hot in China, dude. They
Okay.
hate China.
Well, yeah. They're kind of in competition right now, isn't that what you said?
Oh yeah, the outsourcing thing, that's different. Yeah, no. They have the same product, which is cheap labor.
Okay, so but
no.
Twitter is not TikTok. So
No.
India has a problem with Twitter and
They
its
do?
election. Yeah, it's they've kind of I think they put in new rules that contradict democratic policies that India has with regards to the election season. So they're like, you either abide by our rules or we ban you. That's currently like a standoff that they have.
But that's also a Modi thing, man. Modi's literally Indian Trump, so he's changed everything.
but actually, thank you.
It's not even a joke. Except he's more like eloquent and he's
Yeah.
more smart.
But we're gonna see a lot of Trump babies now.
And hates
Like a lot
more.
of people that like do Trump, but they do the better version, like the more accepted version of
I
Trump.
mean, they've been doing it for a while.
yeah, he's been
Trump
good.
with extra
I mean,
steps.
that guy is like on point. His diplomacy's on
Not-
point.
you don't mean
He's
Miguel,
vicious.
you mean-
no. I mean
No,
who,
no,
me
I mean who
specifically.
Miguel's representing.
Oh, who's
Yeah,
I'm
representing?
representing
Yes.
our Lord and Father.
I'm talking about
God King.
Manny Pacquiao.
Of course, man. You're
Isn't
back
it-
Our
here.
Lord and Savior,
It's
Manny
Pacquiao,
Pacquiao.
Yeah.
Pacquiao is the president of the Philippines, isn't
Yes,
it? I mean, think
that's
about
right.
Is he?
the alliterative effect. Pacquiao
I
president.
thought, but he ran, right?
He's planning to.
He's,
Oh,
he's,
okay.
he's like a
He's gonna have
senator
a
or
boxing
something.
match.
Yeah. He's a
It's
senator.
still Duterte, right?
It's still
Am I
Duterte.
pronouncing that right?
Yeah, Duterte.
Duterte. So he's still in power. Until when?
He is. Don't know.
Yes.
Until he doesn't want to be.
What's an election? I don't know.
Nobody knows. All right, so I feel like I've gotten what I want out of that conversation because I feel like it's gonna have to eventually stray to the
Oh no,
Middle East.
we can go into the massacres that's happening in the Philippines if you want to.
True.
We can go into that.
Billionaire sponsored
You wanna-
genocide?
I'm joking. I'm
Yours
I don't.
story.
I want to get into the rabbit hole of like killing crackheads on the street, but I feel like that's gonna
legalizing killing people who are in need of help. Is
it's
not-
gonna get that.
Oh,
rage.
you mean the war on drugs? Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're like 50 years late on that.
Today, by the way, is apparently the official celebration of the War on Drugs internationally. It's like International War on Drugs Day today. I didn't know that.
I did not know that.
I got an SMS from the government today telling me that.
Reagan is smiling at his grave.
I guess I'm on a list.
Oh yeah, I got that too.
You did?
Yeah.
You once visited an American embassy. Congratulations. You're now on our radar.
It's like everybody that's been to the Dutch embassy that's on the list. It's
Yep.
like, all right, you're getting this SMS.
Yeah.
Have fun. Right. What was I going to say? Yeah, we're moving on from this to the next part of the podcast, which is going to be a little challenge. And I've set this up for you guys. It's going to be a game. Of course, we have a little halfway mark. Before we get into the papers and documents, you guys, we're going to be doing a commentary breakdown of the official Directors of National Intelligence preliminary report on UAPs and UFOs. But before we do that, before we get full into this conspiracy world, we're going to have a little lighthearted game called 2 Degrees of Tinfoil. Mike has the hat ready.
Just 1 degree from me. So.
So this is the game where we come up with the best conspiracy rants you've never heard of in an epic battle of wits between 2 of our panelists. I'll be giving out 2 unrelated categories whilst they do their best to string together a conspiracy theory and convince us of their most outrageous ideas. And that's you, all right? You, the viewer, will decide who wins in this show-off, this little matchup. Each panelist will have a minute to make his case, after which you, dear viewer, will cast your votes. So make sure to get the conversation started. Of course, get it started on the comment section, on the live chat, and in the comment section if you're watching this the day after. And you tell us who you think won the matchup. So I'm going to give you guys, like I said, each of you is going to have 2 categories. You got to mesh them together and come up with a conspiracy theory that makes sense.
But it's head-to-head? Or it's...
You're going to go one at a time, basically.
Okay.
So it's not like rap battle, epic rap battles.
By
It's
the way,
more-
don't think you're immune from this. I'm totally going to give you
I already told Hudayfa that because I'm going fourth in this, right? He's prepared some categories that I don't know of. He doesn't know about the game. I just told him to pick 2. So I think he's now...
Once I hear the actual prompts from them, I'll definitely...
You'll come up with something.
I will.
All right. So you're up first.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh my
you
God.
and Miguel. So this is your
You can take the
matchup.
lead.
No, you
Miguel.
can take the lead. I'm new to improv.
Yes,
so-
and.
That's true.
Yes,
You are. You're just starting
and.
off on improv.
All right,
So
fine.
you have to go. You've got the
I'll do it.
the rank here. Hudayfa, your categories are 5G and Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like this?
So
Put the
literally,
camera
that's
on
all
you.
you give me?
That's it. 2 categories. You mesh them together, come up with a conspiracy theory that makes sense, and you explain it to the audience, the viewers at home, looking at you right now in that camera.
All right, listen up and listen real close. Here's the thing, okay? Jake Paul, how did his hair go from brown to blonde? That's a question that we all want to know. And the reason is very simple. He has surrounded himself with this fake posse of not 1, not 2, not 3 or 4, but 5 G's straight from the streets of Compton. He has 5 G's in his posse. They show up and they try to intimidate Floyd Mayweather before a fight with Logan Paul. I mean, the gall of this man to just show up with 5 G's as though he can culturally appropriate street cred? No, he can't. He's too white for that. He's too Aryan for that. But look what it's done. It's tainted the youth. The youth think that seeing his brother fight Money Mayweather, Floyd, is okay. They think that that's a compelling fight. And they think that that is the reason that you should buy a Samsung 21 5G. It's not, okay? It's not, because those radio waves are the same reason that his hair went blonde in the first place. It's not bleach. It's radioactive frequencies, okay?
10 seconds.
That's what did it. And most importantly, don't have gangsters in your troop, okay? It's tacky, and that's what happens. You lose fights, Jake.
Ding, ding, ding. All right.
nice. Hey.
Nice one. All right, that's your minute, sir.
It's pretty fucking good.
You guys,
5
how'd
G's.
you feel?
I
Jesus.
feel like I didn't actually give you a good conspiracy theory, but I feel like I ranted. So I fulfilled one part of
good.
this thing.
That's it. That's
I
all.
ranted.
It's really the passion. That's all that matters at the end of the
I
day.
almost adopted Alex Jones, but you know.
I feel like Mike is going to showboat and take him away from me.
Oh,
Like, so that's the benefit of having me go last.
I think I'm gonna channel my. What's the name of the nerds from the X-Files? The ones that were like always in the.
Oh, I don't know their names. That's
You,
very
you know what I'm
specific.
talking about, right?
You're not talking Scully and Mulder. You're
No,
talking
no.
about the boys in the.
Yeah, the UFO guys that were always like in the
yeah.
trailer.
I don't know the names.
I'll just channel one of those.
Guy 1 and Guy 2.
All right,
Agent
Miguel.
1 and Agent 2. Oh,
What's
You're up next, buddy. Your categories are going to be biryani and Lil Nas X.
I don't even know who that is.
yes, you do.
Bullshit. You don't know who.
Old Town Road.
yeah,
Old Town Road,
okay.
Panini.
Old Town Road, Panini.
Okay, yeah.
The devil
Call
song.
me by your name.
Yeah, that's the D
Well,
one.
I haven't heard. I've only heard one of his songs,
All right.
the Old Town Road.
We're waiting.
Okay.
When you're ready.
This is so hard.
Get out of your headspace.
Get out of my headspace. I'm definitely not. You only have like 5 viewers, so I don't have to.
Exactly.
Worry about.
And 3 of them,
Embarrassing
you know, they're not really watching
It's
right
a
now.
very odd start to a conspiracy theory.
Oh yeah. So, Lil Nas X. You've seen one of his latest videos. He was dressed up as Satan, and he was only doing that because. Well, it's because he wanted to sell biryani. And here's why. Here's how. Okay? If you are a Satanist, you are basically against Christianity. Which region? Oh, I can't say that. I can't say that.
Say it.
I can't. I actually can't.
Oh, you
This is one of the briefs that you told me that
okay,
we can't
alright.
talk about.
Never mind.
This is so hard, man. I don't know Lil Nas X. I don't know him enough. I know one song.
Disqualified.
I'm
Give me the
disqualified.
disqualified. Disqualified.
I'm so tempted to just adopt that conspiracy theory and run with it,
Please
but that would
go.
just be a douche move. So
Please
we're not going to
don't
do it.
do it. I don't know
don't.
him well enough
not
to
doing
have a
that.
You
rant.
failed. You failed miserably, Miguel.
I am so sorry.
You'll-
I didn't
you're
do well
never
last
coming back
time,
on the
so.
show.
Shabda,
That's
if
it.
you're
You're done.
watching, you're not.
She's not
I'm
watching.
so sorry.
We just lost a viewer right now. Do you know
God
that?
damn
We
it.
literally, you cost me 1 fucking viewer out of my 3, bro.
All because I'm so out of touch
The
with
Philippine
kids.
government has left the video.
Yeah.
All right.
Mikey
sorry.
D.
That was
I would
loud.
like to apologize.
You got this, bro. Your categories, Mikey D, are going to be camels and hashtag free Britney.
Oh my god, I want that topic.
It's too
A lot
late.
of people think Britney Spears is just a teen idol from the late 90s into the early 2000s. But what if I told you she was actually from the Maghreb? That's right, people. And what's inside of the Maghreb? A lot of sand. Sand that if you ingest is, dare I say, toxic. But what can go across the Maghreb in one piece? That's right, That's right, Bedouins. And what do Bedouins normally ride on? They ride on camels. Yes, people, you've heard it first here. Britney Spears is actually Berhani Spahir from the Maghreb, riding across a camel. And that is why she invented the song Toxic. But under this tribal law in the Sahara, she cannot legally own the rights to her own music. And so they are putting this toxic Berber masculinity on her. And they have stolen and pillaged her music. And you know what? I just want you to just leave Britney alone, all right? Just leave Britney alone because, God damn it, she needs to get out there and she needs to keep on pumping out hits. I love you so much, Britney. And I just want you to find peace with your tribal identity. And I want you to make that voyage. I want you to go to the courthouse and get your music back and then go on a grand tour across all of North Africa.
10 seconds.
Of course, people won't believe us. They'll say it's toxic. They'll say it's crazy, that it can't be a thing. But you know what? I say that it is a thing. Take care, Brittany. I'll love you forever.
Very, very nice.
I don't have sound effects.
I like that.
You guys give it a rating? You want to?
That was I'm gonna give
Rouhani
that
Spahir.
on the toxicity scale a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Okay.
It's just because it's just for sheer toxicity. That was just so
I liked it.
my brain melted listening to the way he connected the song "Toxic"
Yeah.
with eating sand.
He
and
dressed
Bedouins
the sand and the
I
camels
mean,
just off the start.
That was phenomenal.
Yeah.
That was phenomenal.
It's a shame you didn't know how to pronounce Maghreb, but that was
Maghreb,
fun. I
yeah.
feel like people got you.
Maghreb.
Though. I
He
feel
meant
like
Maghreb, by the way. You
he meant-
Maghreb.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Maghreb.
I liked it.
Berberland,
I think
yeah.
it's making me nervous right now.
You should be nervous because your topics are.
Why is there a
coming
red dot in the shape of a scimitar on your head?
I'm so fucked.
out. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go.
Gonna have to time you. Can you time me?
I will. Well, how much time is it? 2
a
minutes or
minute.
1
It's a
minute? 1
minute.
minute. I will time you. No problems. But
How
here are
big
your
his
two
fucking
topics.
watches,
Tom.
by the way?
It's massive.
Your topics are
Pick some.
Warhammer 40k
Yes.
and Furbies.
Hold up.
Yes,
wait,
please.
first, explain what Warhammer is to people, so they
It's a freaking tabletop game. Where you know what? We're not going to
explain
do
what
that.
tabletop games are to people.
Here's your two topics: miniature figurine painting
Yeah.
and Furbies. All right, you have to make some. I know one of these topics is close to
Arts
home.
Okay.
Probably
and
both.
crafts.
You probably secretly have a
All right,
stash of
good.
Furbies.
All right.
So
Probably.
whenever you're ready, I want to hear this rant.
So they always tell you to talk about Furbies. You think you're gonna buy a Furby in the 90s and it's gonna make all the sense in the world. You pick it up from the store, you look at your dad, you're like, this is all the love I'm gonna ever need, right? It's the one toy, the one piece of plastic with fur that I'm never gonna get again. Never a dog, never a cat, never anything else. My dad said that's all the hugs I'm ever gonna get. Why? Because it looks at me. It looks at me, I have to replace it with batteries, and we're done. It's a Furby, right? But flash forward a few years later, not only the only plastic, no, the Furby that was taken away from me, smashed by my own cousin, an intent done on purpose to engender hatred within my heart, and therefore at some point in life, enrage me into an extremist mode, get me inoculated, hopefully, against some terrorist program or some initiative from the government that wants to monitor every behavior that I have. But what does that do? It engenders in me a love of toys beyond any belief. Toys that are both demonic and militarized.
10 seconds.
A Furby that is both connected to Warhammer in the sense that these miniatures that I paint, these Warhammer military miniatures, are both soldiers and men that I wanted to be that I never could be. The man that my father wanted me to be, a soldier.
Wow.
That was beautiful.
What's not beautiful is that unfortunately that was a phenomenal rant, and I don't think anybody on stream got to see your face in it. Unfortunately.
Oh, shit, I
We didn't-
forgot
we
that
forgot
part.
to see- I was trying to
Why
point
did you
to that.
say anything?
I was trying to point
Oh,
to it, and you
shit.
thought I was telling you
I
volume.
fucking got one hand the whole time.
I know.
good.
I know. I'm sorry.
It's just a
Here,
voiceover.
Is there?
Can I get a focus on me real quick?
Yeah,
You have that option.
that's a shame.
Miguel's redemption
that was a
round?
phenomenal rant, though. Just
That was
just
a
as
waste
as,
of footage.
as a quick scale, like on a scale of actual conspiracy rant, that was like 15 out of 10. That was
Thank you.
out of the four of us, you're the only one that actually gave a.
Because I put
Like a proper
sadness in
conspiracy.
there.
It's not.
It was
And-
less conspiracy, more sadness.
It actually made me think like I need to rail against like Furbies
Very
and
relatable.
just the whole
The Dark Lords.
toxic dads
Yeah.
and dark harvests in general, all of it.
Is the word engender like the SAT word of the day? You said it like 3 times, and I loved it.
I said it, yeah.
I loved
I was
it.
trying to look for another word. I was like, buy time. Just buy time with the same fucking word. It's like, what was the other one? Evanescence or some shit. Anyway,
Effervescence.
All right.
Evanescence? Is that
I don't know how I'm going to do this with one
One
hand.
thing
but
real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
One thing real quick. Can I get the focus on me? Just.
All right, go for it.
I know we're in a room and we seem like we're friends and we're just having fun. But before the show, Khaled made me sign a paper that said that he can actually beat me up if I'm not funny on the show. So after this show, I think I'm gonna get lynched because I fucked up my improv. so I'm fucked.
I mean,
No extrajudicial killing.
Lynching is for people that deserve rope.
Oh shit. God damn it.
Nope.
you weren't even funny enough, but not funny enough to get lynched.
I know.
I think we'll just throw you out the
Fuck,
car
we're
or
done.
something.
This
That's
show's
all
already
good.
lost 300 viewers right now. I only had 275.
Wow, 5 subscribers are left.
Crazy.
Right, that was the segment that was supposed to be the one that transitions us into the
Man,
conspiracy
improv is so hard.
mode that we need. We need to start talking about this report, guys. I know I've been burying the lead, but I got it ready for you guys. Here we go. It is Pentagosh. The report by the Pentagon with all of their scopes and assessments. It's of course a preliminary report, guys. Who actually read this? You read it?
I read
It's 9 pages.
It's not long. At
It's
all.
not long.
I was
I
telling him on
skimmed
the-
through part
I
of
was
it.
I was telling Miguel on the drive. He's like, "Did you actually read it?" And I was like, "Dude, it's literally 9 pages, like 12-point times, and you wrote it with mad spacing. It's
yeah.
It took me literally 6 minutes.
So
to
you
read
probably
it.
got the same insights I got off of this, and what is
Yes.
yeah, okay, good.
I can't
Mike,
read.
did you read it?
I skimmed through a little and
that's enough.
I did some summary.
That's enough.
I mean, I know enough already.
So
I mean, typical U.S. Like, just look at that.
Yeah.
He just thinks he's just
he's just-
hegemony.
he doesn't need to.
It's like
He just-
cultural and intellectual hegemony.
It's
I already know everything.
military training, right? Get to the point, skim. They just have a
Yeah, stars and stripes. What more do I need?
He already knows how the
13.
government works anyway. He doesn't need to.
That's true.
He already knew this was bullshit from the
Pentagosh.
beginning.
I really
I'm gonna play this like I played high school. I'm gonna have the nerds read it for me.
Yeah, nicely done, Miguel. Okay, so this report, just off the bat, guys, it was kind of leaked earlier last week by the New York Times because somebody talked to them, and some people have said that was definitely the government kind of pre-leaking the report so they can kind of control the narrative and get the media talking about it in a specific way. So what we know from this report, of course, is that like in the thumbnail, that wasn't clickbaity, that they have said that nobody is saying that any of this are UFOs. They don't know if they're UFOs. They can't rule it out. They know that, of course, that the UAPs themselves are... Oh, shit. Never mind. That's a warning I've never gotten before. Oh, wow.
Is live streams looking
Today's
to go?
like firsts today.
Is the stream still gonna
there's
go
a
now?
fucking
Yeah,
Chuck
I
E.
don't know. I
Cheese
can
next
literally
door.
hear it. It's just a little kids.
It's
just,
insane. My mic has fallen down, and now the fucking US.
if my office is watching, what's up?
Yeah, the SD card is dying, guys. That's all it is. But the stream's going live. We're fine. It's just the aliens. They're fucking with me. So yeah, the report basically talks about the fact that they cannot they can't disavow the fact that the sensors from multiple sources have picked up something out there. There are definitely things out there. There's confirmed human visual contact on the things. There's radar signatures. There's RF frequency signals coming out of them. Infrared as well has been able to pick it up. So multiple pieces of equipment can see it. Therefore, they cannot discount the fact that there's something unusual out there that moves at speeds that nobody can account for and nobody understands. Now, what they say is that they are not clear about whether this is actually a government program. So let me skim through this and you guys give me the commentary, right? This preliminary report is provided by the Office of Director of National Intelligence for the following. The Director of the UAP Task Force is the accountable official for ensuring the timely collection and consolidation of data on UAP. The data set described in this report is currently limited primarily to U.S. government reporting of incidents occurring from November 2004 to March 2021. Mike, have you seen shit since then? As a Navy personnel, somebody who's been in the water.
Honestly, so on the 4 years I've been on ships, the topic of UFOs has literally not come up once.
Not once?
Not a single time, I swear to God. So most of the reports are from pilots, which, I mean, it makes sense because they're objects in the sky or phenomena.
Okay.
UAPs, the opposite of WAP, whatever you want to call it, whack-ass phenomena.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't mention unidentified submersible objects because that's a thing.
Yeah, it's not in here.
Yeah, it's
That's
not in
a weird
there.
one, right?
And that there definitely has been a lot of reports of like underwater activity. It's Godzilla. No, but
Godzilla.
So the thing is, like, we Like when you're on a ship, I mean, you definitely see objects in the sky, and especially when you're in the middle of the water, it's pitch black, so it's really easy to see the night sky. But I've never seen anything that's like out of the ordinary or unusual. And normally, if there's something flying, we have sensors that can identify whether it's like say like a jet plane or like I don't know, like a Bahraini helicopter, just stuff like that. So I have not seen anything out of the ordinary. I've seen a lot of strange vessels, but
by strange vessels, you mean ships and things on
objects of human origin floating on the water, or are
they brought up and mentioned freaking one. They can account for one specific sighting that they could verify as being a deflated weather balloon.
Yeah.
So I thought fucking weather balloons are now discounted as a source for explaining these problems, but apparently in this one case it's not. How often do you guys actually see weather balloons?
I've never seen a weather balloon.
So nobody's fucking seen a weather balloon.
I've never seen.
But they were able to confirm that one of these 144 or 118 reports, however many it was
an actual weather balloon.
Was a deflated weather balloon. And the rest they're not able to confirm.
Which, I mean, weather balloons hang out thousands upon thousands of feet in the air. So, like, when you're, only, 10 meters above the water, you're not going to be able to see that. So.
Okay, fair enough.
And they probably don't have lights either.
So when they talk about weather balloons and people, like, the classic, this is a freaking weather balloon, this is Batman, this is Venus, right? What is the idea behind that? Is that these weather balloons have kind of deflated and actually, gone low and they're kind of like below, they're actually now visible by the human eye? What is the idea behind that?
I mean, I imagine that a weather balloon probably has like a very like translucent material because if they're going to be up tens of thousands of meters in the sky, like they have to resist extreme cold, so they might reflect a lot of lights. They might look like these weird shimmery objects that look strange on a radar. They're probably pretty big, at least the size of this whole octagon. So I mean, for someone that's never seen one,
that's not very big.
Way bigger than that.
It has to be way bigger.
And that's the thing. I don't truly know, but I imagine the weather balloons or probes come in multiple shapes and sizes. And for a pilot that's not used to seeing these things that are operating well above like where planes fly at, if one were to be deflated and maybe go down to a lower range, it might look like a UFO, like some strange translucent shimmery craft that is floating around in the wind and looks like a big blob on a radar. So, yeah. I mean, that one makes sense.
Aren't there also official...
Can I just say, Miguel, one intro before you get that? Go ahead. I feel like you're going to say the same thing.
I feel like he sounds like a fed puppet right now.
I'm telling you.
This was 100% government speak.
I'm telling you.
This was like, listen, everybody, nothing to see here. Weather balloons will float down, and there is nothing to see here.
I was literally texting him today. I was literally texting him. I was like, man, what? Why are you like been discounting this whole thing from the start of the conversation? It was this last night I was telling you that.
He did not have sexual relations
with that weather balloon.
You stole my punchline.
Mind meld, huh? And here's
that's exactly what it is. It's so fun. It's so see-through. And then he says he's not intelligent.
Never. Like I've said it. He's the Lawrence Arabia of our group. He fucking found us on day one. He managed to infiltrate the Arabs on a very specific setting in a theater crew. I'm a theater major.
This is the first day, like literally English the first day he was in Bahrain, and he already knew He's like, oh hey guys, I just got here. I'm like, who just gets here and shows up and like, let me find the hub of all of the different like expats of the region and also some locals, like
just writing weekly reports about every one of us.
It's literally textbooks.
And I just want to clarify, like I do actually believe that there is alien life. Now, are some of the other 143 unidentified aerial phenomena, can they probably be explained from either technicalities or just like weird stuff that's happening that aren't aliens? Sure. Are some of them aliens? There's probably some that are aliens.
Yeah. We don't know.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
All right. Let me ask you then a different question, because this report touches on this. It says a couple of times that there's this stigma that's attached to basically sightings, and throughout the course of the military's history, there's never been a real... there's never been a framework for actually reporting it and getting actual people to come forward and testify about what they've seen. And it's only now that people have felt more comfortable and they've gotten validation, they've kind of gotten positive coverage about doing so.
Yeah.
Do you know for a fact that if you had seen something yourself, Mike, would you actually tell anybody in your crew, in your vessel?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've seen like. I mean, just from the stuff I've reported about like vessels, I mean, anything that's like unknown and that could be a threat, like we're going to report it. And we have ways of, taking video of it and capturing that information. So yeah, no, if something
I was gonna ask you like if you're worried about your reputation at all, but then I remembered you came on this show.
Yeah, no. So yeah, if something was like a legitimate threat, I mean, yeah, we're gonna report it. I mean, we're gonna take video of it. We're gonna try and understand like what it was.
Yeah.
Or what it is.
Okay, good. So at least Mike is one of the few that would actually.
I'm sorry, I'm still recovering from that
was
vicious self-roast. Like, why? I just...
Oh, we lost
Mike,
another viewer.
Mike, I love you, but I suck tremendously.
Oh, my God.
No, but that's the thing, right? I personally believe that that if there are sightings out there, right, and there's legitimately something out there that's floating around that is a piece of high tech that's that can't be explained. I always thought, why does it have to be something, that's basically a piece of machinery? Like, why does it have to be a ship? Like, it doesn't make sense that it would be a new, like it would be an undisclosed new fighter jet or something.
Why wouldn't it be?
Because it doesn't make sense that the technology would jump from, just regular planes and jets and everything else and just go to something that defies physics.
Well, technology is not linear. You have to remember that.
That's 100% true. But
Okay. So you're saying this is something that could have been independently developed that has nothing to do with aeronautics?
Maybe.
No. What I think is that it doesn't have to be defying physics. In fact, what the report says is the propulsion speeds are unaccounted for. Like the propulsion speed is just faster than anything that these people can account for.
Yeah.
But it's not the propulsion method or the way. It doesn't just like boop boop. It doesn't just like fly in completely unexplainable ways. Ooh. But sometimes it flies in weird ways, which I do think coincides very well with classified military tech.
Well,
they touch on it later, but if you'll note very quick, it's a very, very great double-speak usage. They say there are some instances where people think that this might be classified military tech.
Yeah, but they don't actually
We were not able to confirm that. We were not able to confirm. Now, read between the lines of that and what that means.
So, as a guy that's...
did you highlight it?
I did.
As a guy that's written things just to get people to shut up, honestly, this thing read as like something that was just written to get people to shut up. It's like,
I didn't
boom.
see that, though.
Well, no, I saw it more like we need money.
That's literally what they say.
Well,
we need more funding.
Over and over and over again.
We need more funding. We need robust reporting in a standardized way, and we need to develop algorithms.
This really tells you that the military isn't as competent as some people think, because this is literally me in an essay, like filling out, the papers. Like, I wrote 1,000 words. This is the fucking intelligence.
Mitch McConnell, we need money, please.
It's like, dude, how many times you're filling up space? There's a whole page here dedicated not only to the appendix, but them repeating like everything else they've said before.
Yeah,
which
literally,
is
literally,
how many times I've written "give money"? That's the fucking.
That's literally a military style document.
I love how you wrote it. So give
money.
GIF, GI.
And they're
money.
constantly talking about also using, and this is one of their proposals for expanding collection. They're saying one proposal is to use advanced algorithms.
Mm-hmm.
Advanced.
Yeah.
Because that's
alien algorithms. Whoa!
Patriot Act 4.0. Wait, what? Electric Boogaloo?
Mind probed. I mean, what?
Algorithms are like one of those catch-alls that are basically like a super word right now. It's like kale, right? You just say it, and then it means you're doing something special.
To be fair to Kale, though, it's pretty fucking good.
Is it?
What the hell? Get off the show.
That's what an alien would say.
Bro, Kale is pretty fucking good.
Aliens say Kale.
No, but are they talking about like botnets, like AI?
No,
They're saying,
machine learning.
Yeah,
machine
they're
learning,
saying they're going to use
not botnets, but create something to help them decipher the patterns existing within the reports they have, and then later utilize it to determine, okay, we got a new report. Does it fit within pre-existing patterns, or does it not? Is this something entirely different from the existing patterns? Which is a very smart way to go about it. What they're saying is actually very logical.
Yeah.
So they're
but
saying
all of it does say GIF money.
Specifically here, like if you want to get the breakdown in their own words, it says the initial focus will be to employ artificial intelligence machine learning algorithms to cluster and recognize similarities and patterns in features in the data points. So basically that's saying we want something that can organize all the papers.
Which literally, by the way, this is literally what deep learning does. By the way, like I'm a master's of science student in data analytics right now.
Oh, okay.
And I shit you not, what they're saying makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Like that's literally what you use deep learning to do.
Yeah.
And its primary job is unsupervised learning. That's what
I get that, but I'm saying, is that really going to be like? What's the price dollar value on something like that?
Honestly, when you're talking about like, if you're talking about a lot of reports and you're talking about like depth of reports, it can be a lot. But if we're only talking about like 144 reports right now, this is not nearly enough data points for them to even train the algorithm. They actually need way more data points to even train an algorithm properly on
This is what they're getting at in that next section, right? They're saying they want to take the United States Air Force's collection because the majority of this stuff is coming from the Navy, by the way.
It is.
Yeah, pilots,
Yeah, nothing.
They don't say pilots. Just saying.
Yeah, but realistically, it's pilots.
They just say, and there's a big concentration around military testing sites and bases. You see how he's so insistent on the talking points.
There's
so insistent
runways and planes on a lot of those places too.
Are they?
I'm being serious. Yeah.
He keeps coming back to it. Oh my god!
It's just as a guy that has a rough idea of how this thing works. Like it's likely pilots and. You know,
but it doesn't say that though. It doesn't say that. It says the majority of UAP data is from U.S. Navy reporting. They're not saying anything specifically about pilots. They do say, like Hadaifa said, that most of the stuff happens during training missions.
Yeah, training missions, and because which does actually make sense. There's a greater concentration of like military equipment to test and radars and all of these and observational equipment in one place. So it's, I get it. Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
You're more likely to get more reports in those situations.
Or and I'm
it is in fact military tech.
That's what I'm saying. It's here's the hypothesis, right? From two angles. I'm going to give you the alien angle and the military tech angle. Military tech. This is them basically not telling anybody that they're basically in a simulation, a war game.
Oh yeah, that's not the angle I was thinking of, but okay.
No.
What?
What do you mean?
What's the simulation?
That who's in a war game? Like us,
like
as
the
humans?
pilots.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, okay.
Maybe if you didn't interrupt so often, bro. Jesus, man. Goddamn brutish behavior. The UAP task force has 11 reports of documented instances in which pilots reported near misses with a UAP. So that means something in that training area or that. How big are these areas? Like,
I mean, you know, it depends, but like they go off the coast of I don't know, like California, and they have.
Is this wait? Hold up. Is this sensitive information?
No. Because it changes every exercise. Okay, so like I don't know. I mean, I can find out, but like I don't know, for certain. But let's just say it's a very large, arbitrary box of water that these people are doing these exercises. So
large, as in this is enough space for a jet to maneuver, right? Like something that's going miles.
You could have multiple ships. I mean, you have a shit ton of space because I mean they go to a remote section that's like I don't know, X amount of kilometers off the coast, and they just do their maneuvers and evolutions down there.
Okay, our numbers just spiked right now. I think people are taking notes. Oh wait, where? From Syria? What the fuck?
You've gone from 2 to 3.
Basically, you pick a block of water and you literally just make a box, and then you're like, okay, entities, you're going to operate within this box, and that's where the exercise is going to be.
Gotcha. Okay,
that could be anywhere in any of the oceans or seas. I mean, it's not like the whole Navy has one box that's like for everyone to operate in.
Okay, so that's a good framework for like a kind of like understanding what would happen here. If you've got like 11 reports of documented instances and people saying they got a near miss or something that was about to collide with them, maybe this is something that's just basically testing these pilots, seeing if they can either react to it or if they can fuck with them. Now, whether this is an actual piece of technology, I don't know. My personal theory is that if it was tech, I wouldn't say it was something that's aerospace engineered, like it's not a plane. I would say it's probably like something to do with holograms.
But that's why they actually did this rebranding from UFO to UAP.
Yeah.
Because it's not just a flying object now; it's aerial phenomena, unidentified aerial phenomena.
St. Elmo's fire, man.
So, and they literally say there are 4 categories. They have one other catch-all, which is hilarious to me. Let's list out the categories: 1, weather patterns; 2, objects; 3, something else; 4, other, just everything else.
Just the other bin.
But my point in that is, so holograms would fit into that. Can you read the categories out? Actually, I forget what they are. You want me to hold the mic for you?
Hold that for a second.
Yeah.
I forget you've still been holding that the whole time. Poor guy.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. This is actually a much heavier mic than I anticipated.
Yeah, it's pretty
That's true. It's a big cock rocket you got there.
You sure we
The-
can't get the clip?
No, it's just gonna be like
No, because
awkward
it's-
for like five.
It's on like the last page or near the back.
No, it's in the very beginning. It's in the intro area as well.
shit.
It's in
It's
towards the intro.
repeated.
It's repeated several
Repeated
times.
several times, yeah.
In fact, the appendices might have it.
Oh, there we go.
There it is.
Yeah, thank you.
I can still hold it.
That's
Okay.
So yeah, the categories are, and they're saying this is probably due to the fact that there's no single explanation to anything, right? They say airborne clutter, so objects including birds, balloons, recreation, and unmanned aerial vehicles. So some fucking dude that's just like flying his drone,
his drone.
straight
Yeah,
up.
he doesn't know how to fly it or something.
straight into a plane. Airborne debris like plastic bags. Like how often does that happen?
Yeah, like a plastic bag is showing up on a radar. Come on,
I've-
bro.
Like,
It's
are we
one big
talking,
plastic
like-
bag.
Bro, you'd be surprised. I've seen balloons like miles off the coast of Bahrain, just like chilling in the water.
Like a child's balloon?
Yeah, like a yeah,
the hell?
like kids balloon. Like they go pretty far. So
But would that like
Would that
register
show
on a
up?
yeah,
Yeah.
on
if
sensors?
it was a clear day and it was tuned properly, maybe.
Like I believe it if it was like
Let's just say like I've been able to pick up like buoys on a radar before.
Those are bigger though, right? Those
Yeah.
are quite
They are
a
a
bit
little
bigger
bigger
than a plastic bag.
But considering how small they are to like the relative like the sky and the ocean or the
Okay.
sea,
Okay.
you'd be surprised. I mean, you can't rule it out.
all right, okay.
right.
So we'll
That's
go
two
with
categories.
plastic bag. They could have gone like with like a couch or anything that would have been more believable.
Couch.
But they were in plastic bags.
Why is a couch airborne debris? Just in a tornado?
How is a couch
Yeah.
Just a tornado. It's a tornado, bro.
Exactly.
Tornadoes
Tornado.
are a
all the
thing.
way from Kansas to the
Fucking
Pacific?
hell.
Yes,
Man,
exactly.
That shit happens, bro. Then they go natural atmospheric phenomena.
Yes.
So that includes ice crystals, moisture, and thermal fluctuations that may register on some infrared and radar systems.
Yep.
Of course, this is my favorite part, which is United States government or industry developmental programs.
Mm-hmm.
So that means it could be anything, right? It could be either a government, an adversary. So they go on the next section to
Foreign
say that.
adversaries
But
too,
let me
yeah.
finish up this point first. They say we are unable to confirm, however, that these systems accounted for any of the UAP reports we collected. So we were unable to confirm. That's the one you wanted to.
Yeah, I love that phrasing.
Because
It's
it
amazing.
says nobody would give us access.
Well, it's either that or it means that we were unable to confirm. Like we did our research and we know
Yeah.
as being whatever security clearance we have that that's what it is, but we're unable to confirm that for you.
Right.
It just there's so many possible layers to it. It's so ambiguous.
So many
that
lawyers wrote this document.
It
like-
legit makes me
Yeah.
feel like, and I'm sure it went through Senate clearance quite a few times, like
Yeah.
Senate intelligence. It went through Senate intelligence, right?
It did, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm pretty convinced that it's either some sort of like weird light tech they're playing with,
Yeah.
or there's some classified military technology.
I
either
think this is what I'm
government
I
owned or
think-
private.
Man, I think they're holograms. I'm not saying all of them throughout time have been, but I'm saying I think whatever they're fucking with right now, because there was somebody that wrote a book. I can't remember what the woman's name was, and she was talking about how the UFO project from the 1940s was actually a psyop by the Russians, right, to fuck with the Americans and basically try to start some mass hysteria going on.
some
Right?
War of the Worlds style.
Exactly.
H.G. Wells.
I've heard a totally different
Right.
thing.
Or who was it? Orson Welles? Wrong Wells.
So that Roswell was this just huge setup by the Soviets to just fuck with the Americans and try to get some people paranoid, right? And get the Red Scare kind of to blow off and focus on aliens. Now, if this is a military program by the Americans or somebody else, where it's basically saying we're gonna direct a high piece of technology, like actually things that can target a plane at high speed velocities and project light and images and fuck with you. So this is just something that shows up. You can see it in a visual. It looks like a spaceship. It looks like a fucking UFO. It looks like a blob or a box, like you would like an easy polygon when you're making like rendering in fucking Maya or something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something-
Your first triangle.
You don't need to have like a lot of fucking. You don't need the latest GTX graphics card for that.
No.
Right? You just need something that can project light, and you make a blob that looks fuzzy coming at you at high speeds. And it also, when it's targeted at you, it fucks with your radars to give your radar a return signal and can show up on infrared. I don't know how, but it would.
Well, light would.
Light would?
Light would show up on it.
But it wouldn't have to generate heat, though, right?
Yes.
Yes. Heat of some sort.
Yes.
Yeah.
How would a hologram work? Is there a working?
Oh,
I don't know if
Michael
it's
Jackson
hologram, but
shit, bro.
You
So
can.
here's-
That's the
Yeah, also Tupac at
Tupac,
Coachella.
right?
Oh,
Snoop
yeah,
Dogg
yeah.
claims is definitely still alive.
Is that a thing now? Are holograms like a thing? They need something to reflect off of.
Yes,
right?
yes. They need something like even rainwater works, like water. You can. Yes, they need something.
fucking.
But like
plastic
moisture,
bags, bro.
moisture in the air could be enough. Plastic bags will.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
legit-
yeah. For moisture is definitely moisture in like sea state, for example. So like
Yeah.
if the waves are really big, and if, like let's say it's raining or it's like foggy, there's settings on the radar where you can like filter that out so you can see through it.
Well, the biggest case that made
Wow.
this whole thing kind of popular was the Commander Fravor story,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he was talking about seeing something under the water that was churning up water that was like the size of a 747 or like basically an airliner.
Oh jeez.
And
So
there
that's
was
the USO, huh? The submersible thing. It's underwater.
Well, he didn't see it come out of the water. He said he saw a UFO hovering above the water over an object that was much bigger, T-shaped, kind of like an airliner. And the T-shape was under the water, and it was churning the water. So there was something like white water basically kind of like bubbling right there. So now, if this is a fucking like projected hologram or something that's messing with him, maybe it's a type of sub. Maybe it is something that like sits under the fucking water, churns up the...
and put some water up in there so it can project the light onto it.
That's interesting.
Oh, interesting. I mean, we've all watched Spider-Man: Far From Home.
No.
We actually haven't.
I have
Pretty fucking good.
Is that the
Okay.
one with Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yeah, so he has it. Is spoiler alert? Is that cool?
That's
Low-
fine. Yeah,
low
it's
key.
fine. Go for
Sorry,
it.
Jake.
So Mysterio's in it,
Okay.
and he uses these like drones, Stark Industry drones, to project images out there that are fake. But the way he does it is, some of the drones are putting out some sort of they're obviously light images, but it's projecting off of something. Now in the movie they don't really explain that, but in reality you could totally do it if you had, like you were saying, churning up. If you had condensation in the air, that would stick. Light would stick to that.
Okay.
It's just the same way that in like clubs when they do the fog machine, you can actually project the light onto like the clouds.
Yeah.
Like that's you just
It would
need that.
have to be constant.
That's
it
what
would
he
have
was
to be
saying.
stable.
It's churning up water. Though.
No, it would have to be completely stable for you to have a 3D object.
Well, yeah, light refracts in water.
Light does
refracts
refract.
in water.
It does
so
refract.
if you were,
That would make it even more of a weird, unexplainable,
Well, this is
unidentifiable
the thing,
phenomenon. That it's
right?
like
Yeah.
flickering and moving around.
Let's talk about this, right? Why is it that the majority of these reports are done and basically they're happening in testing sites?
Mm-hmm.
They're being reported by the Navy.
Mostly.
They're
Yeah.
mostly happening in the water.
Are they mostly happening in the water? I actually don't know that. Okay.
We're not
Well,
talking
that would
about
make a lot of
UFO
sense.
reports like historical UFO reports. We're not talking about average people saying
Right,
I've seen
right.
lights in the sky. We're talking only about this report basically accumulating data from the military.
Uh-huh.
So military
Okay.
sightings
Okay.
Have they ever released footage?
of
yeah,
yeah.
the 2004 one. Yeah, if you look up like 2004 Navy UFO encounter, you'll see.
Because I've seen some. There was like a blip on the radar.
Yeah, it was like a little black dot.
And it was moving in like 90 degrees angle. Did
Getting a
anyone
signal
see that?
from the phone? I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
FBI's entered the chat.
Because I have a vague memory. I have a vague memory of seeing something like that. And it was flying in like 90-degree angles. Flying like this, 90 degrees.
You've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it. I have
Where?
vague memory. I can't really on YouTube.
Oh,
So I was asking, like, is
I
that
thought this was a personal story.
is that
bro.
a thing?
Well,
Like,
there was a video called the Go Fast one, which is the two pilots that are trying to track it and lock it.
yeah.
And you see their what are they called? The finder.
Yeah, it's like the auto lock for the camera.
Yeah, and
yeah.
these
It's
are
like,
like-
they do lock onto it, so there was something was emitting a signal enough for the computer, the camera to like lock onto something.
Yeah. So now some people say like Neil deGrasse Tyson's like it could have been a bird. Now,
No way.
suck my dick.
see, that's what most people that work in the military say. They're like,
No
there's
fucking way.
no fucking way. You've worked on systems that are like that.
I've seen birds. They don't move like that. Like,
Okay, so there you go. There you go. This is like some.
It's just Neil deGrasse just likes to act like he knows things about it. I really don't like NDT or whatever.
Really?
it is.
No, he's a cool guy, though.
I don't
I mean,
like
he's
him.
a nice
I
guy.
find him incredibly pompous.
he has a pompous attitude
He is
whenever he's on
pompous.
Rogan. Yeah, he
He's
does.
just so-
Yeah.
By the
I
way-
do like him though.
I do like
I
him.
don't know.
I
I
do
like him.
I
There's-
like him as far as when he sticks to his stuff, basically.
Right, that's
Yeah.
different. There's a question for you, by the way,
Yeah.
in chat.
What is it?
For Geeks Eyes Only
Yeah.
asks, Khalid, are you paid for and working? Are you paid by and working for the aliens? What's with this hologram theory? I kid you not. I didn't just make this up.
Listen, I'm not saying that it has to be the U.S. government. I'm just saying if you want to defy physics, right? What's more likely? like technology wise. Like if you're in a fucking RTS, you're developing technologies like in a strategy game, right? And you're gonna fucking mess with somebody's head. Maybe they're alien drones. I don't know. But if it's a drone and it wants to like hide from you and it wants to vanish in 1 second, then move in another direction, look at fucking Loki. How does Loki do it? Loki basically goes from one point to another, and he says it's duplication, right?
Quantum mentality.
I love how you've tied in Loki.
I
Come
know.
on, bro.
It's called being relevant, bro.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So all right. So if you're duplicating yourself, if you're using some fucking nimpo, and you're splitting into a log or some shit.
Nympho.
Nimpo.
Nimpo.
What is that?
That's
What
for
about
another
nympho?
show, bro.
Well, Mike is here.
That's for the other show you guys are on, okay? That's a different podcast. So if you're gonna use that, right? And I'm an alien drone, then I can fucking project that shit, fuck with your planes, fuck with all your sensors, and it looks like I'm moving off in different directions. So this doesn't mean that it's not aliens. I'm just saying if we're going to entertain the government theory, which is that this is an adversarial foe, which is what it says here as the fourth one. Some UAP, maybe technologies deployed, and I love this, by the way.
Yeah.
It says specifically, first and foremost, China. Right?
Does it actually say that?
First and
I
foremost.
think I skipped past that.
you
Legit,
skip- this
that
is
sentence.
Look at the highlight. Ha ha. That's this is the best
Everyone thinks
part.
the Canadians like aren't doing anything, you know? But like, what if they are? What if it was the Mexicans? They have a navy. Everyone forgets.
It would be funny if it was like Portugal.
Canadians aren't doing anything, guy.
So yeah, it says technologies deployed by China, Russia, another nation, so that's the rest of us, okay, or a non-governmental entity. So they're even leaving room for fucking Bezos.
They are, which
Or
makes
Musk.
sense. Okay, so here's by the way, you have a very relevant comment in chat here.
Go for it.
From Etin Arcadia saying, secret programs to develop anti-gravitational propulsion such as Brown's gravitator and research on Brown's gravitators became classified immediately after demonstrations of 30% weight reduction. So I'm actually kind of digging the path that he's like the train of thought that's going down, because I legit think that, like, okay, I know there was that theory about how Roswell was like a PSYOPs program from the Soviets.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, and maybe this is giving too much credit to the U.S. government, but what if it wasn't that? Maybe what if it was literally, so Roswell and Area 51, right? They're literally at a U.S. base. Military was testing out some classified tech. Didn't realize that there was enough people like civilized people around to see it. Some people caught some sightings of things and made too big of a deal out of it, and they're like, oh, no, it could be UFOs.
Could be.
What if it's aliens? Just to divert the conversation away from, this is what we're actually working on.
Oh, yeah.
But,
Definitely.
but
yeah.
maybe that gives too much credit to the U.S. And I don't know.
Here's the thing, right? This is the problem I have with those kinds of theories. If it's aliens, I'd rather believe in the aliens because they're probably sending probes, right? And I don't mean the butt kind. I mean the kind that's like
weather probes?
Like basically weather balloons, right?
Yeah, no, I don't know what you meant.
No. There's I can't remember what the name of the theory is. Whoever that is probably knows what I'm talking about, which is this idea that if you are a galaxy-spanning civilization, you've been around for, like, let's say millions of years, and that's very likely, given like the fact that we have billions of planets that could be harboring intelligent life. If one of those develops a civilization with the technology to traverse space, all it would take for any civilization that was dominant once is 1 million years of dominance, and you'd have a probe, basically, theoretically, at any possible planet at any given time. So kind of like when you were talking about the start before the podcast, you're saying 2001 Space Odyssey. Yeah. That's what that's based off of. The idea that thing was sitting there, the monolith,
waiting to be discovered.
the freaking monolith was waiting there to be discovered, and that this is a series of probes that were sent out millions of years ago and have traversed time and space, gotten to a planet, seated itself there, and waits and basically looks for intelligent life. I don't know if it causes it.
They're scouts or something?
They're basically, they're the little drones.
Okay.
And they monitor us.
Okay.
It's like a more complex Voyager 1 and 2,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So
Interesting.
If that's what's happening, then it would it would make more sense, but I don't know why it's fucking playing chicken with our fighters. You know what I mean?
That's what the thing that
That's what's weird about this, because it would make more sense for it to do other things, but let's assume that it is, and they're just playing chicken. They're figuring out what's their maneuvering capabilities. What's this? When do we freak out? When do we not? Maybe it's basically drone pilots and fucking I can't remember the fucking name of the constellation, but Alpha Centauri.
Yeah.
Some dude in the fucking joystick is just like, let me fuck with these guys.
An Air Force drone pilot. He's like, hey, we got him. Do we kill him? No, not them.
Look,
They're designated green.
Look, I'm gonna mirror his maneuvers.
I'm gonna airstrike him. He's got a weapon. No.
He's probably puking his pants.
Yeah. So if it's something like that, maybe, but I don't believe that we personally have the technology to defy physics at the moment, because if we did, why aren't we using it?
Well, see, that's
what
the thing.
stops us from using it?
A lot of things are classified.
Maybe it's not practical.
Like Brown's gravitators and Brown's gravitational devices.
But why would it not be practical if we
reduction?
can do shit like that?
Well,
Maybe
it's
it
not
costs too
practical.
much
I'm saying
energy.
it's too classified. Because the potential of misuse is
More
huge.
than nukes?
Yeah.
Like more than railguns? More than
Yes.
chemical weapons? More than
Yes.
fucking COVID?
Yes. Because you had to get that in there.
It was an alien virus now.
I don't know, bro. I mean, I won't discount that there's a possibility of intelligent alien life at such an advanced stage, but
Yeah.
I will say that I'm more firmly in the camp of these are phenomenon that are explainable. We just can't explain them, and they're not necessarily extraterrestrial in origin.
Right.
But
Anybody want to throw out a theory here?
I feel like paid for by
I guarantee you the government can explain way more of the 143 UAPs than they can admit. So probably at least a third of those sightings there was like something done, or let's just say the governments in general have a history of like doing experiments and testing things without telling anyone. So like if there's an exercise going on and they're just like, what would happen if like, I don't know, all the ships saw all these fake contacts at the same time, and they like, I don't know, some dude.
What do we use uranium tipped shells and tanks and not tell anybody?
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's just like, I would not be surprised if some egghead, like maybe there's one like CIA dude and like the head admiral were like, yeah, let's do this shit, and then like the dudes at like O&I are like, like we'll see how they react, and then there'll be like a secret fucking report and blah blah blah. It doesn't surprise me, because what they're probably testing is, if this is the case where they're injecting some sort of like casualty or like, feigned like enemy that's in the sky, they want to see how people are going to respond when things don't go according to the exercise. So when everyone's like, hey, wait a second, like this isn't part of the exercise, this is real. It's really, they're testing to see like what's going to happen when the training becomes real. And that's probably like the case in several of these incidents. Maybe some are aliens, maybe some were just weird weather phenomena, and maybe some we'll just never know, whether it be like super classified or just like fucking, I don't know.
it's so see-through.
Other aliens.
Such a fucking.
It's so see-through.
He's the guy that should like he's basically giving the briefings at Congress. You know what I mean? Like,
but like way better than the ones we see on C-SPAN.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
this guy, like he acts all buddy. Like, listen, I'll tell you everything. It's all an open book, but it was totally just planes, you guys.
We'll never know, I guess. Congress, we do need new funding, though. We do need more funding to figure it out.
With the shit Congress will approve, I guarantee that program will get more funding.
What
And
about,
it's a small amount.
Here's the thing, right? I don't know how much this costs because, like I said, 7 different occasions they're talking about funding. It's like, we don't have the resources, we don't have the people, we need these advanced algorithms.
The unclassified budget.
Right?
The classified budget's probably enormous.
Exactly. Right?
Shit, we don't have money for paper. Fuck, Jerry. Like, come on.
Isn't the unclassified budget for the U.S. military like $1 trillion or something insane like that?
Yeah, Mike, tell us. What is
It's like it's several hundred billion. I don't know off the top of my head. It's a lot of money.
Didn't it reach $1 trillion though?
It's
I was
No, it's not a trillion.
It's fucking
It's up
insane.
there.
That's not a trillion. Like Medicare, I think is actually like $1 trillion.
Yeah, that's
you mean defense spending overall?
Defense spending.
yeah, like
yeah,
per
defense
year.
not $1 trillion.
No,
Are you talking about secret money that nobody knows about for the
No,
government?
I'm talking about the numbers.
So
they released.
the
Oh,
annual
no, it's not
budget,
trillion.
the annual budget for the military, like all the branches, is probably close to $500 billion per
$500
year,
billion.
but it's
I mean,
it's
it's
not
still
a
an
trillion.
it's an
We're
egregious
gonna start
amount.
calling it 2 Bezos. That's it.
Let's just say, like, with the amount of money I've seen the federal government waste, like I'm just not surprised. They're doing better. They're doing better on clamping down on waste, but like, I mean, just some of these programs, and what will happen a lot of the times is they'll just throw money into a problem that they're contractually obligated to support, and rather than just admit that, it seems to be an issue.
Oh, there we go.
No.
There's no issues. Keep going.
Some good
So like with the amount of money, is what'll happen is like decades in advance. Like right now, like the government is planning like systems and things that won't be implemented for like another 20 years. And then what happens is by the time they actually start building those systems, all the money has been in place for years. And then they start building them, and then they're like, oh shit, this system doesn't work. And then they're like, well, we already invested all this money. Like throw more money at the problem, and then eventually, rather than just like admitting it's a failed system, they force it. They literally force the square peg into the round hole, and you have like a half-assed shit system that was a fucking waste. For example, like, and this isn't classified, like the F-35, that plane alone was $1 trillion.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
it still kind of sucks.
It's basically they're going through sunken cost right now, which is I've paid so much into it, and they basically scammed other countries to pay into it as well. All right, so European countries and Australia as well that wants to back out of it, and Australia's pissed like hell.
Because in the late 90s, early 2000s, you had this like concept where it's like, oh, let's build like one platform that can be multi-mission, and then you realize you're like, oh, like fucking that's not how the world works, because one plane can't do it all. That's why you have like an A-10 Warthog that's designed to fucking like take out tanks, but not necessarily like drop bombs over Libya or something.
You specialize it, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like specialization guarantee, or not always guarantees, but it increases the chance of something working. If you just
sorry, go ahead.
yeah, this has touched a nerve, because I've seen this. Like,
keep going.
You can't just like have like a blank canvas, like a fucking whiteboard that you can just input what you need every time and wipe the slate clean. There's a type of ship called LCS, and that thing fucking sucks, because they're like, oh, like we're just gonna like take these like specific missions and we're gonna literally install them as we need to on the ship. But it doesn't work like that, because half the time the shit's broken and no one knows how to use it. So it's just, and again, that's something that was developed in the 90s and funded, and then by the time they actually started building and implementing them, they're like, oh, wait, maybe it's a bad idea to design a ship that's like a catamaran because of hull integrity issues. Or like, oh, maybe we don't know how to fix these because we weren't anticipating these problems. But we spent all this fucking money, so we're going to throw more money at the problem rather than redesign it from the ground up. And thus, you have the square peg in the round hole.
There you go.
Rant over.
That should be his improv thing. Is just give him some sort of military prompt and see just how worked up he gets.
I'm gonna just edit that and tag the embassy. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna fucking tag.
Put a pride flag next to it. You know, that'll get views. That'll get views.
Oh, so
we support everyone.
To tie into that statement, because that's the perfect statement, right? I've
standing desk, bro.
You are.
I'm a hippie.
He's trying to talk.
He's creeping me out,
dominance,
bro.
He's
really fucking creeping me out right now. He's going.
My bad. I was getting a little cold, man.
Did you lose weight just to be able to get on this podcast as an alien?
Yes,
Is that the idea?
I'm gonna take off my shirt in like 30 minutes.
He's like, what the fuck? That Animorph? He just turns into like a reptile.
I swear. So I was gonna say that fucking sunken cost comment is that basically line of thinking is exactly what I explained when I talk to people about some of these programs that are like supposed to be conspiracy theories about, like, you know, the dolphin training shit, the dolphin weapon program, and the fact that, you know, they've hired these people 3 times in 3 different projects to make this thing work. And I keep telling people, I'm like, yeah, but that you're seeing a conspiracy to weaponize dolphins. I'm seeing a fucking dolphin trainer that knew how to scam the Navy. Yeah. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a guy that was like, I can make your dolphins blow shit up.
Yeah.
Give me the funding.
Like I'm telling you, like, if I was a private contractor, I'd be fucking loaded. The amount of shit that we pay for like basic supplies, and they're like, oh, well, they're like military spec rated. Well, it's like, are they though? Or are they just batteries that cost $50?
See, this is what I'm saying. If you had the technology, if they fucking had the alien weapons, if they had the alien, you know, propulsion system, if they had anti-gravity or anything else, since the 40s, wouldn't we see some sliver of the tech right now?
No, but that I wanted to say earlier, if there is technology for that kind of shit that is crazy, for let's say there's technology for anti-gravity, right? Let's just say that's true. Maybe the drawback is that we don't have a compact enough source of power to put that into an aircraft, let's say.
Okay.
So maybe that's what's holding them back.
So we can put it in a Tic Tac, a giant Tic Tac. We can do that, but we can't fucking, you know, build an entire, like, I don't know, carrier that's floating. You know, like I would leak it. Like, you know, the whole idea of like saying, some people have this conspiracy where they're saying, you know, if your cell phones and all the tech we have right now is just leaked tech, basically the plot to Transformers. Do you know what I'm saying?
I see.
Like they have the fucking Allspark and they get the information off of it and they use it slowly to get all the tech we have now, right?
Allspark, Tesseract, MacGuffins.
Right? I could fucking believe that if that was what's happening with my tablet right here. But if we do have anti-gravity, wouldn't we have seen like the precursor to it? Like here's a floating, you know, Bud's Light. It's coming your way like a fucking.
You know, it's funny you say that because legit, that is kind of where it would go. It would just go to the most mundane, stupid thing you think of, like in beer of all places, like the alcohol industry is just be like, here, this is the cutting edge technology. Have it with your Bud Light. Because haram alik. That's why I was like, well, I don't know why.
You get an 80s style commercial.
But you're so right. It would be.
That's how it works, dude. That's why.
Would be.
That's why porn pioneers all tech.
Oh my god.
That is the reason.
That is actually the reason that VHS beat out Betamax. It is in fact because of porn.
Porn sets the standard, bro.
It kind of does.
So when porn uses anti-gravity...
Well, no.
Not that they've
ever tried, you know, not that they've ever filmed a sex scene on a plane in 0 G.
They've done
not
that,
that I know that. But, yes.
You wouldn't know if they did.
I definitely wouldn't.
No, you're a good Catholic boy.
So we had a good question in the chat. There was a little comment as well. I saw that. Can we please get to the chat because people are actually asking some good shit.
Yeah. So
and thank you, by the way, Geek Size, for the Fermi paradox and Drake's equation. That is what I was talking about before.
As an Arcadia says, it does fly in inexplicable ways. It has no heat signature. It makes 90-degree turns at up to 600 G with no form of conventional propulsion.
Yeah.
One of the videos released had 2 fighters intercept. They were scanning it on radar, had visual contact, and infrared cameras. Then 2 seconds later, it reappeared 60 kilometers away. A normal explanation could be advanced tech designed to create anomalies in radar systems and other systems. But that won't explain the pilot's testimony unless that's part of a wider psyops.
Here's what's interesting about that, because he's talking about the Go Fast video and the original videos that were eventually got to ATIP, which is the precursor to this program with Luis Elizondo, who's running this program, right? When those videos first leaked on the internet, I can't remember if it was 4chan or something else, but it was leaked onto a message board with a lot of people that basically go over, you know, videos and sightings and conspiracy theorists. The Go Fast video and another one was basically talked about in the site, and they were basically discounting it and saying it's fake. So all the people that just watched that video originally saw it and said, there's no way this is real, this is a fake video, this is not a Navy pilot, none of this is real. And then you flash forward to 2017, the first time any of this shit after ATIP shuts down, the New York Times writes a report about the Navy confirming all those videos years later. So they could have discounted them completely and said all of it was fake and none of it was real. But they take years to go, you know, for it to have leaked on the internet, people not believing it, and then somebody going back retroactively and saying, by the way, those videos, we can confirm that they're real. Every single one of them are actual Navy sightings, and they're on film.
What's the point of confirming that? And what's the point of releasing this?
Well, Luis Elizondo, the guy who basically headed ATIP the first time around, that was a program that was kick-started by Harry Reid, Democratic senator, correct? Was he?
He was the former majority whip in the Senate.
Okay, so he's a senator.
Or actually, is he still?
Is he in the House or Senate?
He's a senator, Senator Reid.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Harry Reid had an interest in UFOs, and he basically went to hear some of the guys that were talking about it, and they came to him with the idea of collecting the data and getting the sources in from the military, because some of the stuff has been, you know, off-putting for them. They're like, we're seeing these sightings in different locations and different Navy personnel. We need to look into this. So he goes ahead and basically, you know, gets the Senate Intelligence Committee to approve the project, and ATIP gets funded. And that's when they get all of these documents together and they correlate the data, and they do it the first time around. And they're starting to see that, you know, there are many sightings related to the Navy that have been confirmed with radar telemetry, so the radar returns and sensors that they didn't have access to before. So beforehand, they had the pilot's testimony and they had the video that was leaked, right? Yeah. But they didn't have any of the sensor data. Then when ATIP gets started, they look into it and they get some people in the Pentagon to cooperate, and they say, yeah, well, here's some of the radar stuff, some of the other information that was missing. And once they kind of corroborate everything together, they're like, yeah, it does look like this thing was registered on multiple sources, which is what it says on here. which is many of these confirmed sightings were not just visual context, infrared, sensor readings on radar and other means of telemetry. And they're saying that, you know what, this is true. There's something out there. They don't know. They're not saying it's aliens, not even for a second. So the New York Times writes about that. And this is after ATIP got shut down. And this is in 2017. They make an article about it, talking about the whole thing and the fact that this thing was very real. ATIP was a real program. It gets crazy media buzz to the point that Luis Elizondo, the guy that's running it, finally gets some more people to look into it at the Pentagon. And they're like, wait, what the hell is this? Why are you guys, why are you not getting any more funding? And he's saying, well, every time we look into it, we get roadblocks. People just shut us down. We get the runaround. Documents and requests just go into a pile somewhere that nobody reads.
It's bureaucracy. I mean, shit just takes time.
Yeah. So that happens. And, flash forward to now, this is the first time it's ever gotten this much media attention. So this is their preliminary report. But from what we can see, they're just saying, give us money.
I'm not trying to distract from the topic, but I'm trying to figure out. So this is getting a lot of media attention now.
Yeah.
It's getting it's not considered kooky now to talk about unidentified aerial phenomena, not as much as it was before.
Yeah.
The same way, it became way less kooky to consider the Wuhan lab leak theory, for instance. No, I'm not even making a joke. I'm trying to figure out, what is it?
I'm just worried about the segue right now.
I'm just trying to. I'm actually not making a joke.
Like
here.
what?
I'm
Like
actually trying to figure out,
why now?
Like, what is it about society right now, or the time we're in, that is allowing us to sort of consider what was previously considered to be insane or conspiracy theorist, or just, I'm just going to shut you down, and now we're like, no, let's actually consider this seriously, and giving validity and credence to it. See, it wasn't a throwaway. It's an actual.
I know. I was worried that you were going to take us into the.
No, it's an actual.
Yeah.
question.
Okay.
I'm curious. That there's an interesting phenomenon here, like globally.
Like, why do people care about it all of a sudden, right?
Yeah, and how come it's becoming It's becoming legitimate.
Well, some people say it's a psyop.
We'll think about what else is going on right now that's not going super well.
I'll just answer his question.
What's a psyop?
Psyops means that it's a program by military intelligence or even private industry, military industrial complex type entities, where they basically distract people from certain topics or use certain incidents to garner attention when it comes to funding, basically running an operation that's meant to mentally garner a certain result from the populace.
I see.
So basically, you're focused on UFOs. You're not talking about Syria.
Yes.
Right?
If I can add to that, it's PSY ops, so psychological ops. So it's mind, basically messing with your mind, essentially.
It's the
Or
Department
guiding
of
the
Mindfuck.
Basically, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Good slogan for it.
So they're the same people that kind of also fund certain campaigns, like when you fund a movie and the people that are like, we want to empower feminists in Afghanistan.
Yeah, or like NASA doing sponsoring space movies to get more future engineers.
Yeah.
Astronauts.
Anything.
Isn't that basically what they do?
Oh, well, with the CIA, did you see their latest recruitment video where they're all woke?
No.
What is this?
Do you like aliens? We don't have them.
You guys didn't see
They made
that?
a Gillette commercial?
I have.
The CIA made a Gillette commercial.
Oh my god!
They
I want
did.
to see this.
They had a guy that was a guy with a very good, well-groomed gentleman with a lisp who was talking about how he was so proud that David Brenner came to the CIA and was wearing a pride flag, and that he was so happy to work in the CIA as somebody who is, LGBTIQIYZXY. I can't remember the rest of it, but LGBT.
Q plus now.
And
LGBT.
alphabet people.
Yeah,
Thank you, David Chappelle. And he's saying that he's now in the library as an operation agent in the library for the CIA, and he curates their reading materials and actually gets them to enjoy certain board games that are Resistance or some of these
Guess who? Because they're spies.
You guys need to check out the videos.
Clue.
Yeah, Clue.
No joke, man. He curates board games and other mind games
You know, it's so glad the CIA is supporting the gays. After all, I mean, they did come up with gay conversion therapy, so...
That's what life is to the CIA, dude. It's just a giant.
Well, you have to, dude. You have to now make up for lost time after giving birth to AIDS. At some point, you gotta like basically help out.
Introducing crack cocaine. What's that mean?
That's another one. Yeah.
I mean, CIA's done a lot of messed up
things. Done a lot of things.
Yeah, they couldn't kill Castro. They tried. Yeah. They tried so many times.
CIA needs to stand for "Can't I admit?"
Oh.
You know, maybe this UFO thing is just like Khalid said, a distraction. Because think about it.
I actually do think that's what it is.
What is going on right now that's not going very well that the government is involved in overseas?
The U.S. government?
Yes.
Can we talk about that?
The adversarial relationship with China, or
the withdrawal from Afghanistan?
That hasn't been going well for 10 years.
I know, because they just started doing it like a few months ago.
Very long psyop, though.
Well, no, what I'm saying is like people don't want to admit the Taliban is kind of things are kind of, I think, in my opinion, go back to square one, and maybe a little something like, hey, like here's a little UFO to distract everyone from the fact that we spent $3 trillion on this war that had zero impact.
Guy, calm down. Sorry. Listen,
we gotta get the music.
We're good. We're fine. Guy, listen. Hey, man, it's me, all right? No sudden movements. We're all cool. Nothing wrong.
Britney Spears is from the Big Red.
Brittany's fine. She's okay. We're all gonna get this together. We're gonna get her out. Everybody's okay, right? Hey, champ. Hey, is that a new shirt you're wearing there, right?
I'm so high right now.
You want to go up the stairs with me together?
Wanna get high? Need a towel?
I'm too high right now for this, you guys.
Hey, don't be a dog-faced pony soldier right now, okay? Listen to me, fat. Listen to me, fat. I'm gonna take you out in push-ups right now, okay? I took on the Amtrak from all the way to Scranton. I'm a Scranton guy through and through.
That's good.
Listen, we're gonna stay with the Afghanis as much as we need to.
Sleepy, Chip.
We're fine.
Okay.
All of us are good. We wear your mask.
Strangely, I believe everything you say, as long as you keep saying it in that voice.
All that matters is that I'm calm. My hands, you can see my hands.
Everything seems under
Steady.
control.
Like
I'm reaching out. I'm reaching out to touch something because I'm not sure what reality is.
Small child?
Is that a small child? Can I sniff it? Hey, guy. Oh, we lost a camera.
Oh shit! UAP, bro.
Yo.
Okay.
You just fucking lost. No, I know it. I just fucked with the lizard people. I'm done. I'm out.
What if the other one shuts? Oh, man.
Are you trying to? Oh.
Just get it settled.
That was the same camera from last time, too.
That's not the camera. That's
It's
the
the
light.
light.
The light went
light.
off.
Oh,
Fucking UFO mysterious lights, guys. All right, last words. I want to hear theories from everybody. Okay. Do we have further questions? Did we miss anything? I feel like we had a question we didn't answer. I'm sorry. I want to get to the Q&A section as well.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of questions in the Q&A section that we didn't answer.
Let's get to the
You
Q&A,
wanna pull that
guys.
up?
This
Okay.
we're gonna go. If we have any theories, guys, pop it out as well. Miguel, Mike, you have your own. You want to jump in here on?
Sure.
I'll just pop in the graphics because we got a budget on the show. Zero dinars.
rockets.
All right, Q&A session here on the Bedouin Banter podcast. So these are the pre-generated ones from the Instagram, right?
Yes.
Okay.
There's really just two questions. There might be a third. We'll see. So, Infrangilis says, so serious question.
Yeah.
There are stories in all religions about alien encounters or gods, etc. Is it possible that it was in fact the aliens who let the dogs out?
Having seen the movie Prometheus, yes.
Okay, short and sweet. Yeah. I mean, Lil Bow Wow was kind of alien looking.
I'm not sure what that was, but okay.
That was a question. I read it word for word. I did not make this up.
That was like the song, like "Who Let the Dogs Out?" Woof,
Yep.
woof, woof, woof.
I read it the first time. I thought, did he mean cats? And then he accidentally said dogs? Or does he
No.
mean
It's who let
Baha
the
Man?
dogs out.
Oh,
God damn it! I love that all three of us did that in unison.
with that,
but Miguel
that's
didn't.
That's a psyop right there.
Exactly. Or like the knock. Who invented that knock? Hey,
Fucking-
check this out.
I
You
wish
forgot that.
Everyone
You
knows
forgot
that. No, I was
really
waiting for you
fucking-
guys to
I was
do it.
waiting for the fucking door to start knocking, dude. That's what
religious
I was fucking waiting.
code.
No, but like that rhythm, right? That da 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 da.
Everybody knows that.
Everyone
Right.
just
Okay.
knows that.
Next one.
Here's another one. What if aliens are the monsters from A Quiet Place? What are we gonna do?
Well, if we're in Bahrain, we're fucked because nobody can shut the fuck up here. So I don't know, man. Like nobody in the Middle East can be quiet to save their lives.
What we'll do is we'll barricade ourselves in this room and we'll use this octagon as a giant shield because that's where you can like stop a bullet with this. I think.
But you have to be like with the Quiet Place monsters. You have to be really fucking silent.
I'd be.
You know, I actually haven't seen this movie and I want to, but yeah, that's what it is, right? It's like they're attuned to sound.
Yes,
and nothing
extremely.
but like they can't see you.
They're like these like alien, like from
like
the movie
Daredevil.
Alien
The
style,
alien
like
Daredevil.
xenomorphs with like knife hands. They just like stab.
Yeah,
So they're extraterrestrial daredevils.
The second movie, the part 2. Wow.
They're extraterrestrial daredevils.
That's what got you. Huh?
Why does that send it? That's the one that was
that
like
got it.
probably my weakest joke.
I'm proud of you.
You can never tell, right?
You really can't.
I see you giggling. I don't think you get
There's
it.
another question. I don't know if you want to address it or not.
Oh, which one was that?
Yes, it's the one
bottom
from,
left?
from Red.
I want to hear it.
Fuck off, Red.
No, read it. Come on.
You just want it because you already know what it is.
Yes.
I already have something prepared.
Hey guys, how does it feel to pull those massive cocks around?
Honestly, as good as it felt when Bezos launched the cock rocket.
Oh.
So,
What? She took half your money.
but not half my cock.
She took all of it.
Do we have questions from the live stream?
I don't think we have any more, but I will double check.
Because it is Q&A time, so if you guys want to get more interactive with us and actually
Possible we do. I will tell you in a second.
let us know, because we got wrap-up time for all of us. We're past almost the 2-hour mark, guys.
Crispy.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Is it wrap up time then?
No, just keep checking the chat until I get to some of the last moments.
Just to answer your question, Red, it's actually more stressful than you think.
I have an answer for Red too. What I want to know from Red is how does he know that my family has a chicken coop in our backyard?
What?
And that we have massive roosters and that we pull them around all the time.
I see you cocking. But I don't think you.
No, I get it.
I prefer
I
your
get it.
Daredevil joke.
I'll stop.
I will. See, I had to balance it out, Miguel. I made you laugh too hard on such a shit joke. I had to throw another shit joke in there to make
That's
you
so
laugh.
good. What do you mean? Basically,
I don't know.
Daredevil.
Shit is good.
I don't know. They're extraterrestrial daredevils. That's what it sounded like to me.
I think we covered all of the shit on the report itself. I honestly don't know what it means to have the preliminary report. Does that mean we're going to have another one that's really...
Is this the first one?
I think that's part of the science. Yeah, I'm
the
trying.
phone out of the way.
I apologize.
Fucking thing is leaking, bro.
Wow, new tech.
My theory is actually that it is part of this whole psyops thing right now. That like it's a quote unquote preliminary report, and we're really not going to get more. But it just wants. It's trying to get you interested in the idea of it, so it's encouraging the public. It's engendering.
All right, I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
All right, I believe in that, right? But let's assume that it's not the U.S. government and it's not them looking for funding or anything else. It is actually an adversarial opponent. So like they said, maybe China, Russia, or somebody else. Out of all the countries we know, who are the ones more likely to be responsible for this?
For what? The report or for UAPs?
For UAPs. Can't be China.
Russia.
They don't innovate. They steal.
It's too obvious. Like it's. I wouldn't be surprised if it was one of our allies. Everyone assumes that allies don't spy on each other. That's bullshit. They do.
No, they
So like, if it was like Australian or British, I mean, that's like the ultimate troll because no one would expect that.
Right?
You want the?
I'm actually being serious too.
I
Like,
love how you didn't say Canada.
It's either Japan or South Korea.
oh,
Japan. I think it would be South Korea, honestly.
Dude, tech
I do.
innovator,
Yeah, you're
Samsung
right.
and Sony.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just saying.
It's like they can't develop nukes in Japan, but
the
they can
LG.
make you think you're getting nuked.
Yes, they can.
Yeah.
the LG sponsor.
The ultimate revenge. You actually nuked us. We'll make you think you got nuked.
Yeah, by aliens.
It's not the same, but by aliens. There you go. There you go.
Like, what if Japan is like, you told us we can't have nukes in Japan, but
you-
what about in space?
Oh, you didn't say anything about
The
space.
United States of space.
No, so you say Japan. Mike, what did you say?
Like
Australia?
Australia or Britain. I can see that.
Miguel,
My God.
I'd say Russia.
you think Russia? Why Russia?
I have no idea. It's an opinion built upon ignorance, just like every one of my opinions.
Do you feel like maybe it's because you're attracted to Putin's swagger?
I am not attracted to Putin at all. I like his
on,
confidence.
Look at him. Like this last week, he's been killing it. Like every answer that he gives out to reporters.
I'm attracted to Putin.
Like literally killing it, not just the
shirtless
figurative.
The reporters were never heard from him. No, Putin's diplomacy game is on point.
Okay.
And his charisma game is on point. There's one more comment, by the way, from Captain Arcadia. It says, air superiority, being able to appear anywhere at any time, completely outmaneuver anything. It's a game changer. Even nukes can be disabled easily. I suppose it means relatively easily. Tech like that, they wouldn't tell anyone.
Yeah, but till how long? Like
That's the problem. I think as we grow globally and we get more advanced technologically, even just the average citizen has what's functionally a supercomputer in our hands.
Yeah.
I do think it becomes harder and harder to keep things completely under wraps, which is why you have psyops operations like let's release a preliminary report.
Yeah, like I feel like if you do have the freaking technology, it's too tempting not to use it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm on that train too. Because if with tech like that, you wouldn't keep it a secret. With tech like that, you'd fight everyone.
You keep it a secret.
Even if it's not like
But
fighting,
use
you'd mess with shit. You just go to Russia, turn off some nukes.
Yeah.
And you just
See how they
fuck with
respond.
them. Yeah. You'd go to like North Korea. You could eliminate North Korea overnight and nobody would know.
Well, the U.S. could do that anyway.
Yeah, but they've got the artillery aimed at South Korea, so that's the only reason I think they don't, right?
Vietnam
Is
round
that the only
2.
reason?
Let's go.
Is that the only reason?
I don't know.
So North Korea, kind of like Taiwan, is built like a fucking fortress. So a ground invasion would be really hard.
But you don't need ground invasion in this day and age, bro.
Yeah.
Do what they did to Japan.
Yeah, but if we bomb North Korea, they would like bomb the shit out of South Korea. We
Yeah,
don't want
instantly.
that.
But you do it so that there's no they can't even get their hand on the butt.
It's one of those like is the juice worth the squeeze? You know.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's the issue with China sharing a border.
North Korea
and they
has
don't
no
like
oil.
that.
That's why.
Like China doesn't want North Korea to get fucked because then they have to deal with the problem because like they have a huge border with them.
Refugees,
true,
just
but
straight
yeah,
by
Miguel
the
had a
tens
good
of
point.
thousands.
What's that?
North Korea has no oil. That's why the U.S.
Well, there we go. I mean, that settles that. I buy that. That makes sense
think
to
that's
me.
it? That's
that
it?
makes sense to me. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
There's actually no point to them doing it. Actually.
Well, what about South America? They fucked with South America. There's not much.
Brazilian.
There's oil there.
Yeah, but that's
Brazilian
one
UFOs.
country, right? It's like.
And then there's the other stuff.
And that
There's
lasted
there's
forever. Chavez
cocaine.
was in. Oh yeah, but.
I mean,
like
let's
you
not
have to
pretend
have,
like the government doesn't have.
North Korea doesn't have
fiduciary
anything.
interest.
Like it doesn't have crack cocaine. Like come on, it has to have something.
No.
Nothing.
They
Soju, bro. Come on.
They have some unreleased drug, I suppose, some unknown drug. I don't know.
Right. I think if I
All
have
they
to,
have is supreme leader.
wrapping up on this, if we're not going to get another question, is I'm going to say if I had to bet which countries could do it, I'd say like you said, South Korea definitely. I'd say. I know I'm going to get into shit for some of this, but I don't want to talk about it. But Israel definitely. So I do think they are the masters. I do think they are the masters of psyops. They are the masters of, you know, we got the mindfuck department. Like they probably wrote the book on mindfuckery. So
To this day, they don't have nukes.
Yet they tested.
I mean,
Yet they tested them in the 70s off.
No,
South Africa.
but they don't have them.
no,
They have no access to such things.
because the aliens keep shutting them off, bro.
They're so weak, man. Protect them from the big bad Iran that doesn't have any nukes.
I definitely okay. We're not.
We're not talking
The
about
goal-
it.
Wow.
The Golan
I
Heights
give
side.
you an inch. I give you an inch,
And
and
you
your
think-
inner Daesh comes out, huh?
What? I didn't say anything other than what Israel
Stuck for a
did.
while.
I want to avoid that conversation
We are
as much
spicy.
as possible.
That's
I
fair,
just-
I think. I'm
I was
sorry.
making a comment on their technology, bro. Their economies, maybe.
They do have technology. That's true.
Yeah.
That's fair. I mean, what were they like? The first country to get like 90% vaccinated.
I see
or
you
something? Like,
oppressing.
they were up there.
They're really up there.
Yeah, they were really up there.
Which
They were
which is
really-
another theory I forgot to discuss, which is some people are saying, and this is a friend of mine that's really into this shit as well. He was talking about this the other day, saying, what if, and YouTube don't kick me off of the stream, but what if the COVID vaccines are there so the aliens can finally interact with us? So we don't spread and give them like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Spain and Mexico style.
Right? Like you don't want to kill them. Maybe they're like the signs aliens. Like you fucking kill them with water. We might kill them with a sneeze, bro.
So the COVID vaccines exist just so we don't infect aliens?
Yeah.
It's not for us as a human race?
Maybe it's both ways.
I'm so confused.
Maybe it's both ways.
Or it's not like we don't have some like communication technology in our bloodstream now for the alien. I thought
Maybe
that's,
the
I thought that's where
aliens.
this was going.
It's just for Bill Gates to track Afghan kids. That's all that's for.
Well, that's we've already discussed why that's important.
So he needs
we
them.
got to kill the mosquitoes.
He
bro.
needs to make sure he knows exactly where all of them are. Yeah, I don't know. Last words. Anybody wants to take the last word on that?
I mean, it's not on that, but I have a last word on stuff we've talked about. But it's
All
not
right,
about
go for
UAP. It's
Go
about
for it.
Bezos.
Go for it.
I just realized literally during this live stream that Bezos' last name, if you say it in like an Arab accent or a Pakistani accent, in Arab accent it would be Bezos, right? But in Pakistani it might be Pesos. His name is literally lots of money. I just wanted to throw that out there, and I just want to leave that with Jeff Moneybags. That's his name.
That's the final word.
That's
guys.
I mean, you gave it to me. This is
I
your
asked
fault.
who wants it, and you took it.
I said I want it.
Again.
He got it. He
This
got it.
time you asked for it. All right, guys, you've been listening to the Bedouin Banter podcast. This has been the Aliens of Arabia special. I fucking forgot to talk about the. Okay, I'll leave you with one little tidbit. because
Not the last word.
I'll leave with one little tidbit, okay? Because I know somebody asked about it in the chat. I think it was Geek Size only. There are fucking kids.
That was actually my
Did
last.
Fuck off!
That was gonna be my actual last word.
Did the
was,
aliens
bro,
get to him?
I'm
Like,
pretty sure that the aliens have been like literally trying to psyops our
I
stream
know,
right
man.
now.
Jesus. Yeah. No, they're.
Never happened.
No one is being tortured that we know of outside.
God damn it, Gates! Enough with the Pakistani kids!
Afghan.
I give you an inch and you'd go.
Leave the
look at
dirty
that.
studies alone.
What's crazy to me is you take the headphones off, can't hear it.
No, you can't.
It's-
But in the
it's-
mic,
it's these
you can
mics,
fucking hear him
man.
on the
Just
mic.
that good.
Okay, you were saying there's something that you forgot. I'm sorry.
There's a specific incident, right? Because none of the reports that talked about UFOs actually talked about Arabs or incidents in the Middle East or other governments. But there are a few of the incidents that are actually not just from Americans. So not the Navy reports. There are other countries involved, other militaries, right? That have made sightings happen. And one of the famous cases that ever happened was actually 2 Iranian pilots in the 1970s. That was a big, major incident for a lot of UFOologists, because that's a degree. And they talk about like these pilots that basically saw an object in space that was, in the air, that had an incredible propulsion system that was moving in an unusual manner, had lights that would basically flicker in and off and basically come in and out of existence in all the ways. And the Iranian pilots were very scared of the situation. They actually armed and tried to lock to attack, and they thought they were maybe being targeted by neighboring powers at the time. And this incident caused such a freak out that the whole system in Iran was on alert. A whole basically military advanced warning system went off. I wonder how many times we've had stuff happen in the Middle East that has gone unreported or has led to people just thinking, what if this is something that we, at first assume we're like, oh, okay, what is that object? Well, it's probably something supernatural instead of saying it's an alien.
Right.
How often can that happen?
Probably much more often than. So that was actually one of the comments I forgot to bring up with somebody. I think for Geek Size Only, saying we should get like Bahrainis on stream to share their alien encounter stories and compare it to how Americans talk about it.
Oh my God, yes.
Because I do think you're 100% right. It would be far less alien technology and be 100% more or like 90% more jinnat.
Yes.
Like I think it would be like هاي الجن عالم الغيب يعني it's الغيب.
This is what I told you.
And-
One of the things I was wondering about. Like, could it possibly
I mean,
be?
that's my honestly. If we're being 100% honest and like an actual serious last word
Yeah.
on aliens and stuff, legit, I do think that if there are some weird phenomenon or weird like creatures or beings, I don't think they'd be extraterrestrial in origin. They might be. I don't know, but I do think that jinnat are a thing. And I do think Alim al-Ghayb is a thing, and there's just things that we don't, like, visibly, we can't fully see and understand.
Yeah.
But those could or would explain a lot of these oddities.
Well, if you look at some of the literature out there about aliens and UFOs and stuff, a lot of people say, okay, it might not be aliens from another planet. It could easily be something that lives on this planet or in our area that's from another dimension, but shares the same space.
Fair enough.
Right?
Yeah.
And it could be, us from the future. Okay?
Okay.
Basically manipulating our own timeline.
Okay.
All right?
Interesting.
That's the top three. Now, when I first heard about the interdimensional one, the first thing that clicks in my head is, how many times have people talked about seeing jinn in the Middle East? And with the second we talk about jinn, every time we talk about it in in religious studies when we were growing up, it's always that they're not. People misunderstand. They think that they're this supernatural entity that is on the same level as an angel or a demon,
لا.
but they're not. They're kind of like another advanced race.
Yeah.
They have free will.
Exactly.
They can be Muslim. They can be
المقسطين والمسلمين. Yes.
Right.
They're good. There's bad. There's
So they're
just another species basically.
Yeah, they're described in a way that's very unique than any other religious
100%.
record.
100%. There's a whole surah about them in the Quran.
Right? So
it talks about like the jinn that intercepted the Quran coming down from the skies and like would like scribble notes about it and be like, oh, like not by intercept I mean overheard it as the angel Jibreel was bringing it. So it's like, no, they're not angels or demons. They're made from fire. It's called min an-nar. We're made from clay. That's the idea.
Yeah.
But they're not supernatural in that sense.
Yeah.
They're just
They're like if you were describing it in like a fantasy or sci-fi terms, they're literally another race of beings that exist in our same universe, but we cannot see them, we can't interact with them most of the time until they come in contact with us, and most of them are harmless.
Yeah, there's theories about it too. Are they shape-shifting? Can they reveal themselves to you at will or not? I don't know the reality of it, but there's lots of theories about it.
But they're always connected to like knowledge, like hidden knowledge. So when people like you talk to Amani, an everyday Amani, and they talk about like people that are Sahara.
Okay, Oman's crazy, bro. There's a whole region.
Yeah.
I didn't even know this until recently, but there's like a whole region just past like one little mountain range where it's literally Hayal black magic, Hayal Sihr. Like this is where Sihr is. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's an entire like section of the
well, I mean,
the
that
country,
blows my mind, and kind of, I'm not gonna lie to you, kind of creeps me out.
Because it's a tradition that comes straight from like a lot of these people. Their beliefs when it comes to supernatural stuff comes from Africa because of the influence from the colonial times where Oman had control of sections of Africa.
Sure.
So there's a lot of the
voodoo type shit.
Yeah, voodoo, hoodoo type stuff.
Black magic,
basically. Black magic straight from the hoodoos. So that kind of stuff leads to this culture of people that believe that when you try to access magic or sorcery in the Middle East, you're communing with creatures that have knowledge. It's not that you're necessarily sacrificing. So you look at the biblical world, right, when it comes to like Christians and stuff. The common trope for like fantasy or anything else, even books, is like you're sacrificing to get something from the demon, or you're giving soul, right? But with jinn, it's more like you're risking your own, like you're committing sin by accessing this forbidden knowledge, and therefore you can acquire information about the realm beyond from entities that already know it, but they might trick you and influence you in negative ways in the process. Therefore, it's haram, right? So a lot of people that would talk about, let's say, aliens, would say that if you were talking to an interdimensional being, and this is where like the whole idea of like Alex Jones comes in and says, well, all the Clintons and the upper echelons of the government, every last one of them in the initiative, they are talking about interdimensional beings that they are in contact with. They will rape children, they will sacrifice, and they will come in communion by taking LSD trips and other Bilderberg type
Bear. Where did Build-A-Bear come in?
Bilderberg.
Bilderberg.
Oh, Bilderberg.
Oh, God. That's why I said that.
Bilderberg style orgies with Bill Gates and Melinda Gates, who got out of it because he didn't want to get involved with the Epsteins the whole time.
Yeah.
They're all communing and receiving these signals from beyond. So if you're thinking about it in that term and you look at jinn, that's freaking what they do, bro. That is literally their specialty, is hidden knowledge. And that the only one who could properly control them and force them to do the thing he wanted them to do was Solomon, with Suleiman's khatam, the ring.
Solomon has he had a lot of gifts. Yes, he had a lot of gifts. Yes, he commanded armies of animals too, and jinnat, and he had command of the wind. And he was a prophet though. He had that was his miracle. Like every prophet had miracles.
Yes.
Or some miracle or some gift that they came with. Like for the Prophet Muhammad, there was the Quran. So like, I guess Suleiman had that. I don't know.
Would you say that?
I didn't know about the jinnat though.
What do you mean?
Like, is that specifically in the Quran? Like he had command over jinnat?
No. That's like, from I understand, that's hadith, right? Or
it might be. I'm not familiar. I'm not saying you're right.
I don't know. This comes from specifically this story about the Queen of Sheba in Yemen.
Yeah.
Where he uses a jinn to basically bring the palace over. I can't remember where that quote is exactly from, but Anyway, the idea behind that, like that storyline, is that they're using the secret knowledge and power of jinn to get access to information and get access to like the hidden knowledge. So
It could very well explain the UAPs.
Maybe the feds
like
can
legit, if
talk
that's
to
what you were
jinn.
going with,
I'm
decided
saying
to cut you
that
off.
not necessarily that it explains it. I'm just saying that if we were talking about the Middle East and your phenomenon with aliens in the Middle East, could we see, like, if you saw a UAP or if you saw a UFO and it's a fucking tic tac, or if it's some weird object in the sky, was the first instinct for you to say it's an alien in the Middle East? Would it be an alien, or would it be jinn?
I can't speak on that. I'm not really.
My personal opinion is you'd be much more likely to veer towards jinn and ilm al-ghayb than you would aliens. Honestly,
I agree.
personally, personally yes, and also I think societally that's what it would be. That's my opinion, though.
Because I feel, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like if like the average Arab guy was like, oh, like, look, family, I saw these aliens, they would like ridicule him, think it's haram, like not believe him. But if they saw jinn, then it'd be like, ooh, tell me more.
Well, yeah, that's one of it. One of the things that can happen. I wonder if it's like also they wouldn't talk about it because
Because it's jinn.
because a lot of people I know that think they saw something are always so scared about talking about it. They tend to not talk about it.
Okay.
That's the common reaction whenever I'm talking to anybody that's worried about something supernatural happening in their house. They just tend to worry about basically the idea of the more you bring it up, the more likely of you gaining its attention somehow.
Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
like
do.
that they're listening right fucking
yeah,
now.
yeah, right.
God, that's
Well, because
terrifying.
what if it is jinnat, right? If that's your thinking and it's jinnat, then the
Yeah.
jinn could be here right now and he could be listening to all of this, or she, or whatever, or it,
Genuine banter.
And-
So.
I wasn't talking about this room, but now that light going off has a whole new meaning.
That's
Yeah.
true. We're
The
live.
fifth
We're live
dimension.
streamed for the
There's a
jinn.
podcast.
No, but you mean like, sorry, God, I lost my train of thought real quick. The jinn,
Yeah.
they don't want to talk about it. I think it's also because a lot of people have this thinking that jinn equals evil. Whereas we discussed earlier, it's not necessarily that. It could be good, it could be bad, it could be,
Yeah.
But if your thinking is jinn is evil, then it's like, I'm not even going to talk about it or think about it or even discuss this thing as like reality because it's just something evil that's occurring and I don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole,
Right. I don't know, man. I've always wondered. I've always had that thought in my head. Like, what if you could bridge the two worlds of the supernatural with the I don't want to say the real or the more realistic. I do feel like technology and aliens and things that are of a superior nature, an advanced race of beings that have access to crazy technologies can seem like magic, and they can seem like they're ghostly or supernatural or anything else. So why wouldn't that be a natural inclination that people have in the Middle East? It's probably because the pop culture on UFOs and aliens have been dominated by the West. Like I don't see why it would only be relegated specifically to America. I just think that maybe it's because I don't know.
I think it is contextualization. I do think that same encounter, you take literally the same sighting and you put it in this context, Middle East context, most likely jinn. Put it in Western context, most likely alien.
Yeah. I think Americans also have a bigger habit of talking about it.
Sure.
Yes. Yeah,
Sure.
we do.
Like it's, popularized. I want to tell
Literally
people
in
my
pop culture,
story.
yeah, X-Files, even in pop culture like X-Files.
Yeah, I can tell my story. I can get famous. Here,
Oh,
if
yeah.
you say
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah.
like people tell you, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear that.
It's like
Bahraini
we can now take it to a
X-Files.
sheikh to talk to you about this jinn. Yeah. Like that's what that would be. It's like,
Yeah.
Sahar alayh.
Or like the fascination with like sci-fi as well.
Yeah?
Like if you love that kind of world, like Star Trek, Star Wars. If you love that kind of world, you're gonna gravitate towards alien.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely have a leaning towards it. It's a weird one. I always wanted to figure out what the conversation would be if I had people from a specific demographic in Bahrain come over and actually see if they have any experiences. If you do know somebody, make sure to let them know about this podcast. Let them actually come on the show. Talk to me. Do we have more questions?
We got a question.
No, we have a perfect comment from
What is
Ed in
it?
Arcadia. And the Yanks love their psyops. I don't know if we can trust anything that Mike says. I mean, I didn't say it. I swear.
Khali Wali.
I'm telling you, he works for the Navy. It's Navy intelligence. It's fucking Lawrence of fucking Arabia. So, that being said, you've been listening to the Bedouin Banter podcast. It has been the episode of Aliens of Arabia. I managed to finally get... I'm sorry, I know I went over. I said I was wrapping up, but I felt like I owed people that conversation just because it was a theory that I was mentioning would be mentioned on the show, or it talked about its people, that we have unique encounters in the Middle East that are, you know, of a different nature. So maybe those are aliens.
Who knows?
We don't know.
Perhaps.
But you tell us what you think. Make sure to comment below. Share the video with people that you think will be interested. Let them know about the podcast. Please subscribe. Every like, subscribe, and share that you give does make a hell of a lot of a difference. We're never going to ask you for money, but we need this thing to grow for us to eventually actually maybe get an endorsement from the CIA.
Ooh.
You know, if you guys are looking,
I'm working it. I mean,
like you seem to know how to make money by asking for it. So you know, maybe I should write one of these documents.
Netflix Gin Files, great show.
We need an algorithm.
I'd watch the Gin Files.
You watch the Gin Files right today. All right, guys, I'm going to be doing a full-on episode, hopefully one day, where I'm interviewing people that have a background maybe as ufologists in Bahrain or Saudi Arabia. I've actually seen sites that people in Saudi have claimed to be UFO sites.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even know there's a thing, bro.
It's a thing. Look it up on YouTube. There are specific pictograms near Al-Ula in Saudi that are carved on rock faces that have weird...
Does it say Allah? Inevitably, these pictograms
No,
say
they're Nabatean. Some of them are pre-Islamic.
Like gotcha.
Yeah,
okay, so like for real, okay.
They're old.
This is one of those weird ones, like, oh, there's a fish that has Allah written on it, and everybody's
No.
like, oh, okay,
No,
okay,
not one of
okay,
those.
okay.
This is like one of the ones that they tried to like destroy, like back in the one of your...
Why? Why? This is why you bring me on. Just so you can have that throw.
That's it. That's the only reason.
God damn it.
But yeah, it's check it out in Al-Ula and other places as well. Nabatean pictograms in Saudi Arabia. What could they be? Who knows? Are they aliens? Maybe they'll be on Ancient Aliens soon enough in a new season on the History Channel. Guys, this has been the Bedouin Banter podcast. Don't forget this audio will be out by tomorrow as well on other platforms, Spotify, Anghami, and iTunes. And, of course, make sure to follow the show on BedouinBanter.com. That's the website with all the platforms available there. Also, Bedouin Banter on Instagram. I've been joined by Mike Donovan, Hudayfa Sadiqi, Miguel Lopez. And, of course, if you guys have anything to plug, now's the chance. Follow them on Dyke Monovan.
At Dyke Monovan.
At Dr. Azef on Instagram, but I'm not active.
Mistval.
Mistval on Instagram. All right, guys, we're still in lockdown in Bahrain. We'll be seeing you hopefully in a week's time when we're out of it. So you have a good night. Hopefully.
Inshallah.
Until China fucks with us again.
Inshallah.
Or Duterte.
Vote for Duterte.
The CIA did it.
I think we're still live.
We're still live. Don't worry. We're just going to run the clip. Oh, Jay, I'm always fucking this up.
It's all good.
Yeah.